There's a through line thing here that I haven't heard anybody address yet. And obviously this story is big guy versus small guy, so everybody's going to side against the owner. But the huge question is, when the person sold that business, I wonder if they fucked over the new guy that bought it. Is Josh the one who bought it, the franchisee person?
There's Josh and one other guy, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if the woman, when she did the sale, if she fucked up something, or she has because I haven't heard anybody talk about that at all. And I don't know if I've ever seen any documentation or anything related to that. Because if she did, then these guys are all of the Ben Reckless and the other people are really just engaged in like a mass harassment campaign for literally no reason.
That lady also A, left the country, and B, I think raised it was like $70,000.
Did she?
Yeah, let me find it.
We'll see if fuck it, we'll try.
A $200,000 Lego collection went missing. Caused a lot of you to ask me to find it. And after seeing the cops point guns at YouTubers, people get arrested and sued for $1.3 million, I decided enough was enough. This looks like a case for the internet detective, this time in the $10 million Lego studio. So I talked to every suspect involved. What I found shocked me. Okay, before we can find these missing Legos, let's give some background. A massive Star Wars collection was put on consignment at a Lego store called Bricks and Minifigs in Salem, Oregon. Consignment just means the owner, Brian Mansell, gave it to a store to sell, and he was supposed to get a cut when it sold. The entire time, he maintained ownership of the collection, and a social media post estimated it to be worth about $200,000. But then, on November 14th, 2024, everything went wrong. This was the night that Crystal and Ben Gorman, the prior franchise owners of the Salem store, got kicked out by this guy. That is Brandon Back.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Kafka.
Hey, just real quick before you start it, Destiny, you asked the right question about the whole Lego thing.
Of course I did.
Do you have a second you want to talk about the whole, like, the lady selling the franchise and kind of what that means for the whole case?
Sure, or I guess. Well, here's a weird question. I actually don't know the law on this. So
weird.
I steal a car that's worth $20,000. I sell it to you for $10,000, and then you sell it for $15,000. The bill of sale is clean. It's not like a super sketchy sale or whatever, but like, let's say that I managed to take the deed or whatever the fuck. So it looks authentic. It's not like you're going to the black market to buy it. What happens if investigators find out that originally the car was stolen from somebody? Who makes that person whole? Does the retailer, the guy who sells at the end, is he punished at all, or does he have to give money back? How does that work?
It's a big pawn shop thing too.
Yeah, it's pretty common in pawn shops. So like, this is a pretty common thing you study in property law. So like, we can make it a little simpler, but like, so you steal a car, you sell it to a guy. That guy's happy about it, and then cops show up and say, "Hey, that's stolen. You got to give it back." Well, that guy that bought the car that he spent $10,000 on it, he now has a claim for fraud against the guy he bought it from. So he goes and he sues that guy for the $10,000, and you kind of just follow that chain, right? So like, let's say there was 3 sales, right? And it was stolen. Well, like, each person in that chain can sue the person before them for the amount of money that they're owed. And so that's kind of like an issue there, where like, that's why you want clean title. That's why, you, especially with like real estate, you check the recorder's office where the deeds are. Same with the car title, you would check and make sure that it's a valid title. And that's why it's such a big deal. With things like this, where there isn't clear, like a title kind of thing with Legos, it can be a little difficult, but we have rules around that. And so you would, again, fortunately, you'd have to look at a number of contracts. So like, the first one, obviously, you want to look at is the consignment contract. And within there, you want to see, is the contract itself assignable? Is the lady that signed the consignment contract, is she able to assign her rights in that contract? Because if she is, then as long as she follows the rules of that assignment, it's transferable. But she might.
And just to clarify for people listening, because everybody's retarded, when you say the rights are assignable, you mean the rights for her to be on the other end of that contract, not that she can simply assign the rights to the consignment or owning the Legos to somebody else, right? But she would be able to pass that consignment. Yes, okay, go ahead.
Right, so what she would do, she would assign to Josh the ability to sell those Legos and then pay the difference to, the fee and stuff. So now, a lot of the times, assignment, she might have required the consent of Brian to do it, the original owner, or there might be other terms, or it might just say she can't assign it. Okay, so in one scenario, let's assume that if she can't assign it, then actually what happens is Josh is taking over that business. And there's a part of it that we're going to talk about later about that, but he hasn't done anything wrong. He's taken over that business. That woman has left those Legos there. Now,
so he would absorb it as
Brian,
inventory. She would be at fault for failing the consignment, the terms of that contract, and then technically, or go ahead.
Right. So Brian would then sue her and say, I want the value of this contract from you. And she would say, well, I don't have the inventory. And he would say, tough shit, pay me the value of this contract, because you either need to give me back the inventory or pay me what it's worth. And then she would have to then go and sue Josh and say, hey, you weren't allowed to take that inventory from me.
Sure.
Now, what Brian could do and what she could do, let's say Brian sues her. Okay. She could then say, hey, Josh is the guy that's really owes you this. And so she could bring him in, or Brian could bring him in as well, to this lawsuit so that all the parties are there and they just resolve it in one go. It's kind of just depending on how they want to construct that lawsuit.
Sure.
The other issue you run into, though, and this is kind of a bigger one, is that she was a franchisee, and franchise contracts with franchisees and franchisors, they fuck over the franchisees. So it is very possible that in her contract, she in some way forfeited her franchise, which that was kind of suspicious in how they described that in the video. I suspect she probably forfeited her franchise, and in that case, that franchise might have had the right to just go in and seize all the inventory in the store. And at that point, then it's okay, well, Brian could sue her and the franchise, right? Not the new owner, Josh. Bricks and Minifigs, the big franchise corporation, he would bring both of them to court, right? And he would sue her, and then she might have a claim against Bricks and Minifigs, and he could also potentially sue Bricks and Minifigs, but his claim would be pretty weak because for them, they have the right to go in and seize inventory. She left the inventory there. It's on her
she's
that
out of the country?
was lost.
Then she's beyond.
Yeah, then boo fucking
right?
who? I'm sorry that the world works that way. I mean,
but it super depends on how this contract was structured and whether or not it could be assigned or passed off or anything else, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's kind of the beginning of it all, which is like, I would say, like, if there's a reason why a lawyer would look at this and say, I don't want to take it, I think very much it's because all of the initial lawsuit has to be against her, and she's basically untouchable right now. And that's not a very good story, and they didn't really want to tell that story. They want to tell the story of this little guy against a company. And technically, if they sued her, she could have sued the company, so you could say, hey, look, this is the third party that should be responsible. So, like, yeah, sure, you can bring them in and say that, okay, yes, it is us versus them. But really, it's, to me, the most likely scenario is the fault lies with the woman. And that she's the person that should bring the claim against.
$80,000.
Yeah, she made, I mean, and also, I mean, like, she got her franchise taken away from her, but also, like, they assumed all the debt on it. They assumed the consignment stuff and things like that, right? Which that's the other side, is like, it's possible that they assumed the consignment deal, though I think it's unlikely that a franchise agreement would say that. Like, the franchisor is almost certainly not going to take on any debt or liabilities of a franchisee if they can help it. And they didn't agree to the consignment deal when she signed it. So whenever they took over the business, it's not like they necessarily take over her contracts, because she probably had an LLC or a business that owned the franchise.
Sure, I think all of this is like super. This is all so speculative though, because we would have to know the details to really. Because like, let's assume that she had like $20 million of diamonds in consignment in that place, and then the new owner takes that over. I imagine if she's invested or bought that she's probably being compensated in some way for it. So if somebody else says, hey, those are my diamonds, the new owners are obviously not going to give the diamonds over because they paid the last franchisee owner for them, right? But then
no.
What do you mean no?
No, that's not correct. They paid the franchisor. The new franchisee did not buy it from her necessarily. Usually I mean, maybe it did, but usually every transaction I've seen with franchises and stuff like this is you're usually transferring it through the franchisor, where they'll take it over, especially in the scenario.
But even for the franchisor, I imagine there has to be some kind of compensation given or something related to that, would be my guess.
It's possible there was not. It's possible that she forfeited.
No, I agree. Maybe there's not. I'm just saying, without knowing that, it dramatically changes the path that you would go on for this, right? Because it could be at a world where she was actually in some way, size, shape, or form compensated for that inventory somehow. Her business was compensated by the franchisor for that inventory, and then she walks and she's like totally guilty, right? Or it could be in another case, the franchisor took over the business and somehow still has the consignment and the inventory on the books and fucked up the transfer to the franchisee, in which case the franchisor would be liable for all this. Or the franchisee got the consignment contracts and they're not giving the inventory back, in which case they'd be liable for it. But I feel like we have to know
The issue is that then, like, I agree, like, if we were just looking at that moment in time, I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
But then with the information about, like, they talked to lawyers and none of them would take it, that tells me that there's the primary target is either untouchable or does not have any money. And the deal is that Josh definitely has enough money for them to go after him for it, because he has the fucking Legos. So they can, at the very least, he can give them back, right? Bricks and Minifigs definitely has money for it, right? Both of these parties definitely have insurance that would probably be implicated in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that lady doesn't, and she's really hard to get to. So I don't know. So looking at the behavior of the lawyers that are in this, it makes me heavily think that you're right. There's a lot of details that are speculative, but ultimately it's really hard for me to see a world in which Bricks and Minifigs or Josh and his company are liable, and a lawyer is like, "Oh, I'm too scared of this." Like, no, fuck that. You can find lawyers that will do this shit on consignment. And yeah, I don't know. It from the beginning, I've always been feeling like, yeah, I think that her role is being downplayed, and it's likely because, again, it's easy to make her sympathetic. There's no real sense in going after her, and it's not good content. So, like,
maybe
I don't know. I think there's a ton
see.
of motivation to portray it this way. So,
sure,
yeah,
we'll see what comes out of this. All right.
Gorman, the prior franchise owners of the Salem store, got kicked out by this guy. That is Brandon Best. He and his partner, Josh Johnson, ran a sister store in Eugene, Oregon, and Brandon drove up that night to kick the Gormans out. Brandon and Josh would be taking over the franchise in Salem. And this is the exact moment the Legos go missing. As that store is getting handed over, the question is Brian's collection in it? Here's what the official Bricks and Minifigs press release reads.
So I don't think this matters. I know everybody in chat keeps spamming, she got kicked out, she got kicked out. But what matters is the actual paperwork and the process that was happening in the background of this, not what whatever the fuck you guys are all screaming about was on camera for 20 seconds. I don't think that matters at all.
Being handed over, the question is Brian's collection in it? Here's what the official Bricks and Minifigs press release reads. Quote, after taking over the store, we discovered a small number of sets valued between $2,000 to $5,000 that could be possibly related to Mr. Mansell's collection. But there's a problem here. There should be over 10 times that amount in this store, given their internal records and what we know the estimated value of this collection was. So if corporate's saying there was only $2,000 to $5,000 in the store, something happened to these Legos. But what? In order to solve this case, let's think about the suspects. First, who was there that night of the handover? It's only 3 people. Crystal and Ben Gorman, the former franchise owners, and Brandon Best, one of the new owners. These are our 3 biggest suspects, but they aren't the only ones. I want to address a few other suspects at the very start here. First of all, maybe this is just all the result of, plain old thieves breaking in. What about that possibility?
Hi, I am Chris. I was the previous franchise owner who signed the collection agreement with Brian Mansell.
And I'm Benjamin Gorman. I am the silent partner who's really bad at being silent.
We did have a couple of break-ins at the store. None of Brian's collections were in the police report or stolen during those.
Okay, so the Gormans say emphatically it wasn't thieves, but if that's the case, what about the guy who was arrested? I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Reckless Ben. This is the YouTuber who started it all. With a documentary, I tracked down the thief
who was the person in the back, like their daughter, or okay,
stole $200,000 of Lego. Maybe it's the perfect crime. Make a video tracking yourself. Now, for our theory, it's worth noting Ben is currently facing a RICO lawsuit by Bricks and Minifigs. He was even targeted with a search warrant for stolen Legos.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
The owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos.
And on top of that, Reckless Ben was even accused of stealing the Legos by the current franchise owner.
I stole the Legos?
What do you think of the theory that it was Reckless Ben? He stole the Legos.
It's absurd. We didn't even know Reckless Ben. He had no interaction, no relation to us, no relation to the store. That doesn't hold any water.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. Apologies to the genius cops in Utah who played.
It's a little weird for them to stake anything on saying I don't know why they would know or why they would even have an opinion on that, but okay.
Different.
We play differently here.
But I don't believe that Reckless Ben stole the Lego, mostly because he couldn't. He just wasn't there that night, and I don't even think he knew about these Legos. But who does Ben suspect is holding the Legos since he did this whole documentary series?
The guy who runs the entire company, Ammon McNeff, he personally came out to talk to us.
So what's going on?
So you guys are holding...
A part of the contract with the franchise is in Bricks and Minifigs complaint, point 24 in this complaint. Hold on paragraph 24. Section 8C of the FA, I'm assuming that means franchisee agreement, confirmed that to preserve the BAM brand, that Crystal, Benjamin, and Salem LLC agreed to only purchase products from BAM in pertinent part. Crystal, Benjamin, and Salem were those are those people that owned it before?
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, shit. I wonder if this complaint... Actually, I'm just going to read from here. Crystal was initially employed as a BAM-owned entity and corporate employee/store manager for BAM's then subsidiary corporate-operated Bricks and Minifigs location in Salem, Oregon. Okay, BAM is Bricks and Minifigs, which is the entire corporate entity. And then the individual store can be a franchised store. But she was initially employed it was a corporate-run location. During her tenure, she expressed interest in becoming a private franchisee as the owner, with her husband Benjamin, of Banff Salem 1 LLC, and individually and in purchasing the Salem, Oregon store she managed. BAM agreed to her proposed private franchisee affiliation and purchase transaction within BAM's established franchise agreement structure pursuant to the terms of a written 2/6/23, I'm guessing this is June 2nd, 2023 franchise agreement between BAM and Salem LLC, Crystal and Benjamin, and a 2/2/23 business and asset purchase agreement between BAM and Crystal and Benjamin. The APA confirmed a closing date of February 2nd, 2023 in Section 4.1, directed that Utah law governed in Section 10.3 and required Crystal and Benjamin to timely pay purchase price installments, royalties, and other considerations to obtain landlord consent to a lease assignment for Salem LLC, to coordinate account transfers, among other obligations for the purchase in Sections 2 and 3. Significantly, BAM was granted a security interest referenced in APA Section 3 and confirmed in a February 2nd, 2023 security agreement in and 2. Okay. BAM, Bricks and Minifigs, was granted a security interest referenced in... okay, that is the Business and Asset Purchase Agreement is the APA. Okay. Okay, BAM was granted a security interest referenced in APA Section 3 and confirmed in a... Okay, 2. All accounts, chattel paper, general intangibles, inventory, and equipment of debtor, Salem LLC, Crystal and Benjamin, whether now owned or hereafter acquired, located, used, or arising in connection with the operation of Salem LLC. This established BAM's senior claim to and or lien respecting any inventory and accounts and other collateral. Section 2.3 similarly directs that buyer, Crystal and Benjamin, shall be responsible for and shall pay all liabilities of the business incurred from and after the closing date. Section 8.2 mandates that buyer, Crystal and Benjamin, shall indemnify and hold harmless the seller, BAM, from and against, and pay or reimburse seller for any and all costs, expenses, losses, damages, and liabilities, including attorney's fees and expenses, suffered by seller to the extent resulting from or arising out of or incurred with respect to liabilities of buyer, arising out of, relating to, or in connection with any claim brought against buyer relating to the assets or business operations from and after the closing date. Okay. It sounds like... Okay, so my question would be, it feels like Bricks and Minifigs would inherit the consignment accounts, is what it seems like. Section 8C of the franchisee agreement confirmed that to preserve the BAM brand, that Crystal, Benjamin, and Salem LLC agreed to only purchase products from BAM. In pertinent part, you acknowledge and agree that the reputation and goodwill of Bricks and Minifigs stores are based on and can be maintained only by providing a high-quality, courteous, safe, and fun experience. Therefore, you agree that your store will use and or offer only services, products, and merchandise as set forth in the operations manual or as otherwise approved by us and as may be periodically modified by us in our sole discretion. Franchise further acknowledges that we have spent considerable time and effort in developing the products, services, processes, methods, and technology used in the operation of a Bricks and Minifigs business. Accordingly, franchisee acknowledges that franchisee is required to sell and use only approved products, supplies, vendors, and suppliers that include, but is not limited to, new and used Lego building brick. Oh, shit. Wait, is Bricks and Minifigs not a... I just assumed that this is kind of like GameStop where you could like buy and sell shit, or they could do this consignment stuff normally. Is that not an ordinary Bricks and Minifigs thing? Is this just like a side business that these guys were running out of the franchise? Because if so, that would bode very poorly for the franchisee owner, if that's the case. But product, services, processes, methods, technology used in the operation of a Bricks and Minifigs business according... Okay. Pre-approved. Lego. It was in the contract Destiny. Bleak Foil. Link what you're talking about. Have you reached out to Jillian Michaels for a debate since she issued that open challenge on Twitter? I think I tweeted out a thing. I don't know if she replied or not. For the operation of the store. Okay. Franchisee is prohibited from selling any non-Lego branded products or Lego compatible branded products not approved by us. Franchisor will provide franchisees with a list of all pre-approved non-Lego branded and Lego compatible products a franchisee is authorized to offer and sell in its store. Franchisee agrees that we may periodically and upon written notice add to, modify, or change such approved products, supplies, vendors, and suppliers. Franchisee agrees to promptly accept and implement in the operation of the store all such additions, modifications, and changes at franchisee expense. In addition, franchisee acknowledges that to ensure, isn't it ensure with an E?
Are they insuring it like insurance, or because otherwise it is with an E?
To ensure the consistent, high quality, and uniformity of products and services provided by Bricks and Minifigs franchisee or franchise businesses, franchisee must purchase products, supplies, POS systems, computers, software, cash registers, camera, and security systems, marketing, and advertising materials for use in the operation of a bricks and mortar and Bricks and Minifigs from franchisor, its affiliates, or approved vendors who demonstrate to franchisor's continuing satisfaction and ability to meet franchisor's standards and specifications. The exception to the above is that because of the nature of the resale industry, most all products that need to be purchased for the store will be from various sources, and franchisee is responsible for identifying such sources. However, franchisor may make arrangements with vendors for certain products at negotiated costs that would ultimately benefit the entire system. Franchisor is not liable to franchisee for any loss or damage or being breached of this contract. The exception to the above is the nature of the resale industry. Most all products need to be purchased for the store will be from various sources. Franchisee is responsible for identifying such sources. Does that include consignment? Is there anything in here at all about consignment? Uh-oh. To be clear, APA Section 1 provided that while select consignment services may be permitted... Okay, Section 1. Okay, is that this thing here? Is that... Okay, well...
Thoughts?
Well, hold on. Still reading. I'm not at the part yet. While select consignment services may be permitted, such were limited expressly to those approved by BAM. APA Section 18A mandates all modifications to agreements be in writing whenever this agreement requires the approval of consent. Despite the foregoing plain requirements, Crystal and Benjamin materially breached the obligations required. APA payments were not completed. FA royalty payments became delinquent. The lease and various accounts were never properly transferred, and lease amounts were unpaid. Crystal's outstanding contractual obligations mounted, eventually exceeding an estimated $175,000. In early fall of 2024... Oh, shit. Accepted work. Oh, man. Hold on. In early fall of 2024, Benjamin accepted work overseas, and Crystal advised BAM that she intended to close the store and abandon the franchise operation altogether, including stating an effective date for such closure of December 2024, as she did not have the right to do so under the FA. BAM notified her that that was not appropriate based on the foregoing uncured breaches and anticipatory repudiation. BAM, inter alia, issued a written 11/14/2024 notice termination, immediate termination to Salem LLC pursuant to the FA, exercised its priority rights to the collateral and the security agreement, pre-scheduled a repossession with Crystal, and repossessed the Salem LLC store on or after 11/4. Oh, shit. Hold on. So this was not just a transfer from one business to the other. She was massively delinquent, assuming everything in the complaint is true. She was massively delinquent on her franchisee payments and then was holding on to stuff using consignment agreements that she didn't even have the authority from the franchisor to make. And so when her business was reabsorbed...
Did she not have the authority to make that? Because
it doesn't sound like it.
Okay.
Unless I see... I would need to see somebody... I would need to see a document or something stating otherwise.
Yep.
The TCRL video has the consignment frames where they highlight the contract. Well, this is...
What's up, my man?
What? I don't know what timestamp you want me to go to. It's an hour-long video.
What timestamp, Steel Manning?
Yeah, okay, dude, 9. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like. Okay, I'm at... Okay. Oh, Jesus, this is about to get
crazy.
Okay, this is about to be mega complicated. Okay, follow me here. Let's say that I agree to sell stereos, okay? And I'm a stereo store, and Sony gives me a franchisee thing to do this, okay? So I have a Sony store, I sell speakers, all right? But I could retail sell, let's say I get 10% profit or 20% profit, and then that goes to me, and part of it I pay back to the franchisor. But what if instead of that, what if I also double as a reseller of other people's Sony stuff. So you bring me some stuff, I'll buy your radio, I'll buy your speaker, whatever, and then I'll sell it in my store as kind of like a side agreement, but it's like part of my Sony store. And then when people come in and buy from that, I don't ever have to actually report that or give that to the franchisor because it's just like side agreements that we make. But I'm doing it out of a franchised store, giving it the appearance of like, oh shit, this is like an official Sony retailer, like cool. If I go delinquent on my payments and then the franchisor, Sony, comes to repossess my franchised business and then I just moonwalk the fuck out, all they have here is inventory. I don't know at that point if they repossess everything, they're not going to give a fuck about any consignment agreements or whatever that I made with somebody else. That's going to be shit that the person who did the consignment, who gave me the stereo shit to hold, they would have to come to me because I would basically be illegally offloading a ton of liability onto the franchisor that never even agreed to take that on in the first place, that I was doing in violation of the agreement the entire time. But I could also... It
sounds like it's civil against her then.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because if it's true that she was doing...
So because a franchisee did something fucky, a corporation can steal from someone. Well, it would have been her stealing from the guy, basically, because she was never authorized to hold inventory like that from him. When her store was repoed by the corporation, this is just what she was holding in her inventory, assuming they had that. And then because she literally signed an agreement with the company as part of her franchisee agreement that she indemnifies them against all losses, whatever breach, whatever bullshit. So if she fucks up, they can't be held liable for it. And this would be her fuck up. So then the onus would 100% fall on her to make whole the person that she was doing the illegal consignment agreements with. If my understanding is correct and if what's in this agreement is true. Uh-oh. Hold on, real quick. Somebody said, BAM's website says all locations buy, sell, and trade Legos. Consignment isn't mentioned, but they're always buying Legos from customers. Buying products from people is different from holding things as a consignment agreement, though, right? Because what the consignment agreement would let you do, if you were being tricky, is it allows you, if we were to pretend that it works the way that I imagine all of Reddit and YouTube wants to work, the consignment agreement would basically let me hold $20 million of inventory that the franchisor can never touch. Ha! Get bent. Fuck you. That's not even your shit. Even if the franchisor hasn't agreed that I, as a franchisee, am even allowed to participate in consignment stuff. So if I were to become massively delinquent, let's say I owe the franchise $500,000 and they come to repo my shit and they go, well, we're going to make ourselves whole. I'm sorry. Like, we're going to repo your inventory. You go, huh, sorry, buddy. That inventory is not yours. I got that on consignment. Suck a dick. And then you moonwalk out with it. And now all of a sudden they have nothing and they're left, yeah. Destiny, but isn't the consigned inventory on the franchisee store's balance sheet? No, because it doesn't sound like the franchise was allowed to do consignment. So this would have basically been a side illegal business that they were running on top of the actual franchise business, basically.
Well, I mean, the money would still go through their books, right?
My guess is probably not. It'd be a side business. That would be one of the reasons why you do it. You make more money, and you wouldn't even have to. That money wouldn't go on the books to the.
Sure, but like, are they really going to have a different whole point of sale system to just do his inventory? Now, cash I could hear, right?
But I mean, they could run. They could have like a second business, or they could have like something. I guess I don't know how the accounting would go, but like part of the reason why you do these side deals is because you don't have to pay the franchise. You make this is all money that you pocket on your business. Now you can still pay taxes.
Sure, but my idea wouldn't be that they wouldn't pay the franchise here. My idea would be that they would, like, let's say they did an illegal consignment. Sure, they're not allowed to do that. However, at the end of the day, they're still getting money in. The money would then, a percent would go to the guy, and then they would have to pay a percent to the franchise.
Yeah, but the question is they would just have a second POS, or they would just have a second system for the consignment stuff. It'd just be like a totally separate business.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it is a lot of money too. It's possible. It's $200,000 worth of Lego, so it's not like we're talking $100.
Ooh. Okay, let me read a little bit more on this. Except to work overseas and crystal. Accepting only, respecting the foregoing unpaid lease. BAM did so as a bona fide purchaser without notice of any third-party claims or liens of any kind, including Crystal and Benjamin's undisclosed and alleged consignment agreement with Brian, referenced info. The only question would be, is that like let's assume you had like $50 billion of like diamonds sitting here. There's no way that the corporation would be able to just take it over, right?
Well, I mean,
consignment agreement wasn't illegal. Watch the Legal Eagle video. Incomplete. Link me the timestamp of the Legal Eagle guy saying that, not as a general rule of thumb, but as an actual reference to a contract between the franchisee and the franchisor. Incomplete. Please link it. Please link the timestamp instead of just spamming that and having to go watch an hour video for some shit that you probably fucking retarded about. Please. In a video game.
You tell him, Steven, you get him, man.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Where's Claw?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh, jeez.
Prior to and from the time of repossession, business informal and video inventory of the Salem LLC fixtures inventory. Well, he did not locate or identify any product that was identified as consigned or not owned by Salem LLC. Include the maximum value of any residual inventory was less than $38,000. Less than $5,000 worth of service records to be located and identified in the entire residual Salem LLC on-site inventory. Incident thereto. BAM requested access to and the copies of all relevant business records be provided at SLLC, which Crystal and or Benjamin refused to provide, including inventory reports, agreements, final... Oh, shit, that would make it harder, too, because... so they wouldn't even know what is in inventory there.
Sounds like these two retards should have never had a business.
Maybe, I don't know. Looks like consignments were allowed, page 72.1a. I hope that this is, like, actually what you're saying it is, and it's not them saying that, like, with pre-written approval or with a list of approved vendors only or something, but, okay, let's go check. 72.1a. Is it page 72 of the document?
Probably.
Bricks and Minifigs. We own, operate, and franchise the Bricks and Minifigs businesses that are retail stores typically located in shopping malls, strip malls, or as freestanding structures featuring high-quality LEGO products and related merchandise. We and our affiliates have developed and own a comprehensive system for developing and operating Bricks and Minifigs stores, which include trademarks, distinctive store design, this isn't going to be in the... I already know this isn't going to be in this section of the contract. Oh, man. Fuck! I'm going to be on the unpopular side of this, and my whole audience, we're going to have to ban like 700 people by the time we're done with this. I can already tell.
Sorry, they'll come to the morning show.
Okay.
They'll hang out in the group chat.
Which includes trends in store design and layouts, decor and color schemes, vendor relationships, resale methods, advertising methods, strategies. This is just an intro for the... contract. We're not even in terms of anything yet, but okay. Quality control, marketing materials, training programs, and certain operational business standards and policies, all of which we may improve, further develop, or otherwise modify. A Bricks and Minifigs franchise will provide programs permitting customers to sell and or trade their used LEGO bricks, LEGO minifigures, and accessories, offer for sale a wide selection of new and used LEGO bricks, LEGO minifigures, and accessories sold in bulk or full play sets, in addition to selling apparel and pre-approved non-LEGO branded and or LEGO compatible products and other merchandise approved by us. Additionally, franchisee may also offer consignment services, approved theme entertainment services such as birthday parties, holiday parties, or school events, approved off-site events, after-school project-based programs, teaching the principles of building with LEGO bricks to children, and other toy-related services approved by us. The services, products and services are also customizable upon approval. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. This
approved
right here,
by us, right?
Yeah, so this is the introduction to a contract that sounds like a default version that they might give. This intro here sounds like it includes all the potential possible services that you might agree to. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have like spelled out all of these in whatever individual contract that you have. So it says here, so like additionally, franchisee may also offer consignment services. So this is the thing you're talking about here, but that doesn't mean that every single one will. It probably doesn't mean that every single contract will reference it. If it does, then it would be very easy for them to just post their contract that says, oh no, actually, we have this written in the contract here. And it sounds like, at least according to, this is on behalf of Bricks and Minifigs, it sounds like they're claiming that the contract did not have anything related to consignment in their contract, and they didn't even provide the records for it anyway. But
what's that part there? Inventory and other assets, and credited an estimated $40,000 paltry value, therefore, as an offset to the unpaid $175,000 debt. Is that saying that they only had $40,000 worth of inventory in the store?
Sorry, yeah, hold on.
Yeah, sorry, 27.
Based on the foregoing uncured, BAM, Interlia issued a okay, notice terminate pre-scheduled repossession. They repossessed the store as express permitted under the FAA and VA, including annual fixtures, inventory, and estimated $38,000 poultry value. Therefore, yes, so that's what they estimated. They counted through and they, yeah.
But there's no way if this guy has $120,000 worth of Legos that they would, in the store, that they would count that as $38,000. worth of inventory.
I don't know. Yes, that is. Destiny, it doesn't say the consignment services have to be approved. So yes, that does in fact mean that they are allowed to do consignment, period. Please shut the fuck up if you've never signed I don't even know if you signed your own fucking W-2s, you autistic fucking retard. An introduction section on a contract listing all of the potential things that you might have as part of the individual terms that you negotiate on an agreement. You would never in your entire life debate a contract with the owner, with whatever else, and go, actually, in the introduction part, you say that these are all the potential things that we could do, so I went ahead and made this a major part. That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Shut the fuck up.
I would appreciate if you shut the fuck up and don't get on my ass about it.
Yeah. Not to say, maybe they did have a consignment thing. That could be the case. I haven't seen that part of the contract yet, though, okay? But accepting only respecting the foregoing unpaid lease. Okay. So when the corporation, when the franchisor, not W2, your W9, whatever the fuck you sign. I don't give a fuck. I shit on W everything. I hate all the W's, okay? I forged every W, every signature I've ever done in my entire life. All of them are fake. Hunter Biden signed them for me.
Wait, right here, it says, including Crystal's and Benjamin's undisclosed and alleged consignment agreement with Brian.
Yes, so when the corporation, when the franchisor retook possession of the store, okay, then they... Apparently, Crystal and Benjamin didn't provide them with any information about the store. They didn't give them literally anything.
Didn't give them shit.
They didn't tell them about the inventory. They didn't tell them about any business records, any consignment agreements. That apparently they just didn't give any of that to them at all.
Why the hell are we harassing Bricks and Minifigs?
Well, because of what Kafka said earlier, it's a cooler story and more entertaining. Incidents there too. BAM requested access to, and that copies of all relevant business records be provided. Oh, and they didn't provide any, yeah. So Crystal and Benjamin refused to provide, including inventory reports, agreements, financial statements, etc. Now again, this is just their allegations in the complaint. You can put anything in the complaint you want. Maybe they're lying about all of this. Okay. Undisclosed and unauthorized 11/22/23 consignment agreement. Please, for the love of God, stop talking about the retarded fucking camera footage. It means fucking nothing, okay? Jesus fucking Christ. Upon information and belief, during her tenure as a franchisee and on or about 11/22/23, Crystal entered into an undisclosed and unauthorized private consignment arrangement with Brian, or his aging father, Eric, allegedly relating to an inventory of alleged Lego collectible sets. A purported but unsigned written 11/22/23 consignment agreement is attached as Exhibit A, which is between Brian Mansell and Bricks and Minifigs, Salem, Kaiser, blah, blah, blah. Plaintiffs do not have a copy of a signed version, though Brian has alleged it was signed by Crystal and Brian. So this would further the idea that these guys, this was just a side business basically that they were doing, that they weren't really allowed to do. At that time and until the present, Bricks was not and has never been a known or legally registered entity, and in any event, Bricks is not Salem LLC, leaving Crystal personally liable for the terms of the 11/22/23 consignment agreement. Importantly, in the purported consignment agreement, Section 5, Crystal agreed and warranted that she has purchased insurance sufficient to cover the loss or damage of the Star Wars Legos and agreed to store the Star Wars Legos in a manner customary in the industry to prevent damage, acknowledging she shall be responsible for all shortages, loss, or damage to Star Wars Legos while in her control. Regarding the arrangement and storage, Brian has described the arrangement as follows. When Eric Mansell decided it was time to divest, he turned to his son, Brian Mansell. Brian knows more about his father's comic book and baseball card collection, but didn't feel confident in his knowledge of the Lego secondary market. He saw the sign for the Bricks and Minifig store while passing by on North River Road, came in and asked the store owner, Crystal Law, if she could help. Crystal told him, even if we couldn't sell the selection, I would help him figure out how much it was worth because I didn't want to get ripped off, and I think that's why he trusted me. Law said, the entire collection will be sold through Law's store, but first they wanted to put it all on display so the public can see it in its entirety. The collection will be on display in the store's party room from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. on Saturday. The collection will be available for sale immediately. So the best time for pictures will be Saturday morning. The collection will not be stored on site after hours for security reasons. And after Sunday, the sets will be available for purchase, but stored elsewhere. Bricks and Minifigs is located at I'm going to need to see some heavy contract work on the other end because it's starting to look more and more like she was. My original guess was correct. She was running it sounds like she was running a secondary business that she wasn't allowed to based on the franchisor agreement. Okay, Legal
You're
Eagle.
So smart.
Lego. Okay. Legal Eagle video timestamp is 45:10. I hope this is about specifics to this case and not just general statements about consignment.
Or I'll ban 'em.
That agreement only addresses the relationship between Bricks and Minifigs and the Gormans, not the ownership of the Star Wars collection. The franchise agreement was a contract between Bricks and Minifigs corporate and the franchisee. But it's also possible that both the Gormans and Bricks and Minifigs are telling the truth. It's entirely possible that the Gormans signed a franchise agreement that allowed them to engage in consignments, but then it's also possible that a later franchise agreement that corporate would have required them to sign outlawed that particular practice. But I don't think that would be controlling here, because either way, whatever franchise agreement is operable, that's a contract between Bricks and Minifigs and the franchisee. Mansell was not a party to it, and his property rights are independent of the consignment agreement and relate to the underlying ownership of the collection. A franchise rule prohibiting consignments might justify terminating the franchise relationship, but it still doesn't mean that corporate gets to own stuff that the
So he's not talking about any of the, he's theory crafting and guessing here. So this is a total fucking waste of my fucking time. I could have spent 50 seconds pleasurably crushing my ball sack, but instead you linked me this video where he's speculating on hypothetical contracts that he hasn't seen. I'm gonna have to crush my balls twice as hard tonight to make up for the time that you just fucking wasted having me watch this. Thank you.
Crush your balls.
She posted a copy of her franchisee agreement with BMF that explicitly states consignment is a part of the business. We'll link that.
Link it.
Why haven't BAM provided the contracts? Well, it sounds like, at least in the complaint of this lawsuit, they are providing relevant sections of this contract. Upon information and belief, why not all of it? What do you mean? Because they don't have to. It's a fucking filing in a FUB. What do you mean, why not all of it? Because they don't give a fuck about you in whatever fucking European country you're in. They don't have to post every fucking part of the contract online for your dirty little grub fucking fingers to go over. What do you mean, why not publish all of it, you fucking read? Why don't you publish a blown up picture of your asshole on the fucking internet in 8K, HD, 500 FPS, 4000 hertz monitor? What do you mean, why not publish all of it? What do you mean? I'm sure the other side should have a contract that they sign themselves that they can counter in the lawsuit. I'm sure that if they don't have a copy anymore, they could probably get it in a request for discovery. What kind of a retarded fucking question is that? Upon information and belief, Brian and or Crystal initially valued the alleged consignment collection in the range of $80,000, which was later reduced by its cost value of $30,000 or less to $60,000. I wonder where they get this from, but see, informal transcript of 416 collecting weekly YouTube video titled "Help a Fellow Collector." Does it actually say this? Ooh, fuck. Is this video online somewhere?
Can you be nice to the chat?
1 year ago.
I believe it was.
Holy shit!
Chat GPT AI or
44.
To be fair, I did ask you if you could help me fix it, and you never helped me. So
I was just thinking, like, fuck, bro.
So happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at all the stuff he brought us. This is fantastic.
This is Brian Mansell. Okay.
Just based on what we've seen, allegedly, right? I know he's out his collection and his money, and that's wrong.
Yeah, at bare minimum. Yeah.
At bare minimum, it's wrong.
Yeah.
This, to me, is the smoking gun right here. They have pictures and showing off his collection in their store. Look,
There's
we're
videos
so
as
happy.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at all the stuff he brought us. This is fantastic. This is all his. Now on consignment. Come buy it. And now the new owner or the new whoever franchisee is like, nah, it's our stuff.
Ooh, wait, so this was Ben Reckless took this up recently, right? His YouTube videos are recent, right?
Yeah. It
Okay.
was like
Interesting.
Maybe maximum month.
Okay, so this is from April 16th of 2025. Was this like a mini drama on the internet, or did this blow up before Ben?
This was mini before Ben. Reckless Ben blew it up.
Interesting. Okay.
Why is it interesting to you?
Just that these guys are talking about this beforehand. Yeah. Okay.
That's the smoking gun.
Around, yeah.
Franchisee is like, nah, it's our stuff. That's.
The collection will be on display in the store's party room from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Saturday, November 11th, and 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Sunday. The collection will be available for sale immediately, so the best time for pictures will be Saturday morning. The collection will not be stored on site after hours for security reasons, and after Sunday, the sets will be available for purchase but stored elsewhere. I feel like that's a little...
That's interesting.
But I don't... okay.
That's
to be clear, maybe, yeah. Also, I should go back. You're so lucky I'm lazy. I should go back and permaban every fucking person. When I asked when I first watched this video and people said it was a $200,000 thing, my question was, is it like all these retail, really? Like the combined retail for all of these is $200,000? And it sounds like that's absolutely not the case. Every single fucking retard in chat lied about that.
Well, it's going to be contentious, right? Like it could be 100,000, it could be 200,000.
No. As in, like when you go to Kmart or Target or Toys R Us, you buy $100, $1,000,
these are fucking old.
Yeah, but that was my question.
10 years old.
Sure, but that
nobody
means
understood that.
When you're talking about super low volume markets like this, a collectible thing could go for $10,000 or it could go for $5 million, depending on who the buyers are.
These markets aren't that low volume. It's not like there's one fucking Lego Death Star selling a day. Like there's whole like other websites for this. Like I think like Bricklink or whatever, and you can go on there and you can see actually the volume for some of these items and shit. Like. The Lego market, the resale shit is huge.
Okay. Well, why didn't he just go through one of the easier things then? Why would he do it in person?
Because he's a retarded boomer. He should have sold it himself. He's just a fucking retard. As seen by how he's handling everything else.
To be clear, all of these images here, this...
That's the smoke.
So over 15 years, he spent approximately $20,000 on Star Wars Legos, and now he thinks they're worth $200,000.
They probably are worth somewhere $100,000 to $200,000. Yeah, they're Star Wars Legos.
To be clear, all of these images here.
Fuck, what was that past one? Okay, we read
Here, this text was all posted by the store as well,
right?
Which is even more like of the value of some of the sets, how they're going to be displaying them, how they're going to be. For
the name of the fucking store and the address, like.
Also, this guy, I mean, if he was doing it as investment, which I don't think he says he was, I think they were just doing it for fun, he would be a retard, because if he would have put $20,000 in S&P 500, he would have had way more money.
Well, now I'm curious, were the Legos ever even in the store? If that thing on the sign said they weren't going to store them there, maybe they stored them later on.
Oh, at the end? Yeah, I doubt it.
As noted above, the proposed consignment arrangement, which was not expressly approved by BAM, is not permitted under BAM franchise standards, and this private arrangement was entered into solely by Brian and Crystal in an unauthorized capacity and not on behalf of BAM or Baker Salem, which had no knowledge of or involvement regarding such. Upon information and belief, Crystal or Salem LLC sold part of the consigned inventory and paid Brian for such. Salem LLC or Crystal had ample time to sell the consigned inventory during the approximately 1 year period prior to Crystal's abandonment of the store, and did so. Such sales activities have never been reported to or accounted for with BAM. It was a side business. I knew it. It was all off the books for these people.
It's just good business.
I mean, true. That's why people do it. Uh-oh.
Good business you seek. Illegal things you must do.
Used to be Brian. As noted on or about 11/8/24, Crystal informed BAM corporate leadership that her partner had accepted employment overseas and that she intended to close the store, and she thereafter abandoned the store in connection therewith. BAM advised her that a closure was not permitted under the FA, including due to her unpaid royalties, defaulted asset purchase payments, and outstanding contractual obligations. BAM thereafter notified Crystal that it would repossess the store pursuant to their rights. When BAM representatives arrived for the scheduled turnover on 11/14/24, Crystal became uncooperative and interfered with the agreed smooth transition and refused to provide records and removed certain receipts, a high-value Boba Fett minifig, and possibly money in the safe over Brandon's objection, and ultimately was escorted out of the store. The store was empty, looked unpresentable, and had been ransacked. As noted, BAM issued its 11/14/24 notice of immediate termination and assumed possession of the premises and all assets located within the store as part of lawful recovery actions. Brandon was engaged as a contracted inventory inspector for BAM and was requested to inspect an inventory of the Salem LLC store at the time of repossession. After Brandon secured the location incident to the termination and completed the inventory, Josh expressed to BAM his interest in acquiring a franchise for the store location. Okay. Well, okay. Remember? Although all you fucking retards have made your minds up already because it's the fun thing to do on the internet. This is just the complaint. There might be really reasonable explanations for how Crystal's behaving and everything else, or maybe these guys could just fucking lie in their complaint. It's just a legal complaint. You can put whatever the fuck you want in it. That's how these work.
That's what happened to you, right?
No, I'm guilty. I'm just kidding. I'm not even joking. Don't put it in motion, Joan. Fucking retard.
DOT0, I ain't reading all that. Nut check.
Nut check? What?
You don't even know your email.
Shut up. I love the nut check email. Okay. Let's go.
Who runs the entire company, Ammon McNeff. He personally came out to talk to us.
So what's going on?
So you guys are holding some of our Legos?
No, we're not.
You're not?
No.
Is that a lie?
No.
That's a lie. You did take Legos.
No. So we have our attorneys have visited. Like again. So who's like
Brian Mansell.
Okay, and who's that?
He's a guy who had a bunch of.
Okay. There's still a lot of behavior by the police department. I have to say this because my audience is fucking retarded. There's still a lot of behavior by the police department that seemed a little bit extreme or not okay. Stopping people, doing heroin searches, whatever bullshit.
Right violations, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But because now I'll listen to what this guy's saying, reframed a little bit with this complaint. If everything he's saying is true, and if everything that's in this complaint is generally true, and I think everything he said, lines up with the complaint, then the reckless guys and everybody, they literally were just like fucking mass harassing a new franchisee owner when the entire fault should fall on the last franchisee owner. But well, I guess we'll see. All right.
You had like $200,000 worth of Legos in your store?
Never happened.
My name is Ammon McNeff. I am the CEO of the Bricks and Minifigs brand.
So my name's Matt McNeff. I'm the COO of Bricks and Minifigs.
The people you
Why didn't BAM just say, okay, let's go to court? They fought so hard. What do you mean? They didn't, because they weren't getting sued.
Times.
Yeah, they said, if you want to sue us, but...
saw are the McNeff brothers. They agreed to speak with me to try to clear their name. I asked them, do they have the Legos?
What I can tell you is that we don't have it. We've never had access to them.
It seems to kind of go missing. Parts of it seem to go missing on November 14th.
Well, and I guess no, not at all. I'm going to say, that is not accurate at all. Because
so you think that the collection was in the store at the time or elsewhere?
Elsewhere. When you look at Mansell's own words that he reiterated to a podcast last year, he explicitly stated to another podcaster, the sets were moved off-site for security.
The collection will not be stored on-site after hours for security reasons, and after Sunday, the sets will be available for purchase but stored elsewhere.
Now, one thing that's been a big subject.
True, but it makes the statements by Josh confusing about still having Brian Legos to get back. If I remember what he said, what I remember was him saying that they might have still had a couple sets of Star Wars. Like, it made, when I listened to that, it sounded like they had like a few things maybe, but nowhere near what was being alleged. That's what I remember on the phone call. But Destiny, so who has the sets? I mean, if we're to assume their story is true and that everything in the complaint is true, then either the sets are lost somewhere because Crystal mismanaged them, Crystal sold them and kept the money for herself, or she sold them and Brian already was paid out from that and they're just like harassing these people for memes or whatever. My guess, the vibe I have so far, is that I think Crystal probably mismanaged or fucked some shit up, is my guess, but we'll see.
Stated to another podcaster, the sets were moved off-site for security.
The collection will not be stored on-site after hours for security reasons, and after Sunday, the sets will be available for purchase but stored elsewhere.
Now, one thing that's been a big subject of the Bricks and Minifigs kind of story is, hey, there are these off-site locations. Can you address what that is? Is that true?
So the off-site location in the letter that that corporate is referring to is the original press release that we released when we were launching the collection. In that press release, because we had previous break-ins, I specifically included the location that after this weekend, those Legos would be stored off-site to deter any future thefts.
Okay, now I don't know for this particular thing. Here's my vibe on this. If you are working as part of a franchisee and you have inventory and everything as part of a franchisee and you have to deal with liability related to that, my guess would be that as soon as you start moving shit off site, you are taking on an unbelievable amount of personal liability that the franchisor is not going to cover you for everything. Just on an immediate think, that sounds omega sussy baka, unless they have this explicitly. Well, if she has insurance through like the franchisor, yes, for the business and maybe for the business. But as soon as you start like moving shit like off-site or whatever, you're on a very. My guess would be is that you're starting to take on a whole bunch of personal liability at that point. That would be, but unless there is a term in the contract that explicitly or specifically states, you know,
can move it here.
Yeah, if you wish to do offsite arrangements because the collection holder is high, blah blah blah, then like this can be done in writing. A lot of contractual stuff will be like, you know, as long as there's writing given in advance and both parties consent, then you can do a thing. But if she doesn't have any contractual stuff, I think that cuts against her very heavily. That's crazy that you would have a business and you would just start moving shit off-site. Like imagine Dan he comes to the studio and he's like, somebody broke into the apartment and stole like $10,000 worth of cameras. Well, fuck me. I mean, it's my studio. I pay for it. I do have renter's insurance. That's kind of annoying or whatever. But like, imagine if Dan tells me, hey, Steven, just so you know, somebody stole $10,000 worth of cameras from our studio. And I'm like, oh shit, they broke in. He's like, well, no. I move stuff off-site. I have like a storage unit and I store them there. And I'm like, what, motherfucker? Give me my money. You fucking, what are you talking about? What do you mean you took stuff out of the studio and it got fucking stolen? Now my renter's insurance doesn't cover it. It's not even my property anymore. Why the fuck are you storing shit on your own? Like, that would be crazy, in my opinion. But
that would be bad business.
Unless there's some special thing about this contract that they'll show later.
For this weekend, those Legos would be stored off-site to deter any future thefts. They were briefly stored off-site after that launch weekend while I bought safes for the back room, and then they were moved back into the store.
Okay, so for most of the time,
were they huge safes to store all the Legos, or?
Those would have to be insanely big because this is a huge collection.
Okay, all right.
The sets were in the store after y'all got the safes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Ammon McNeff suspects that...
I want more questions! Was it a room size? What kind of safe are we talking here? What?
A lot of the Legos weren't there that night. And then on the other hand, we just heard from Crystal and Ben Gorman explaining the offsite story, saying that later they no longer use those offsite locations. But what do we really know about the Gormans? They are the former franchise owners after all. I mean, shouldn't we be suspicious of everyone? They're one of our key suspects. They were there the night we lost Brian's collection. They were the creators of the consignment deal after all. And one group in particular is pointing their finger at them very hard. It's the McNeffs, who say they were behind on payments.
We started getting calls from the landlord letting us know that Crystal was behind on the lease payments at the location. We had also gotten a couple of notices from some of our vendor partners that bills had not been paid by the store. And so we felt pretty strongly that there was going to be a risk of her just, you know, like attempting to file bankruptcy, doing some of these other types of things, which we've had.
Hold on,
McNeffs, who say they were behind on payments. One group in particular is pointing their finger at them very hard. It's the McNeffs, who say they were behind on payments.
Just to be clear, okay, hold on. These guys are the owners of Bricks and Minifigs, the corporate entity, not the. Yes. They're not the new. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay,
they're the corpos.
Gotcha. Okay.
We started getting calls from the landlord letting us know that.
I was gonna say a new franchisee shouldn't have to assume all the past whatever bullshit. Like I imagine the corporate side of things will settle that before they franchisee out a new thing. Yeah.
Crystal was behind on the lease payments at the location. We had also gotten a couple of notices from some of our vendor partners that bills had not been paid by the store. And so we felt pretty strongly that there was going to be a risk of her just, you know, like attempting to file bankruptcy, doing some of these other types of things, which we've had franchisees do in the past, and that's problematic. So that's why we sent him up there to take some video footage. So we needed to just be prepared if we needed to do a hostile takeover, which, you know, like can happen in franchising where a franchise owner just, you know, kind of tries to steal inventory and do some different things that way.
Okay, so Bricks and Minifig's story is that they were worried about the Gormans skipping town, so they sent Brandon Best as a secret.
Not just skipping town. So I'm outside of my personal, but like the problem with bankruptcy. Remember, bankruptcy is when you go to the bank and you say, "Please protect my assets for a little bit because I need to sort my shit out." So rather than the owners being able to come in and just say like, okay, get the fuck out, we're just gonna fucking redo this business, whatever the fuck, a bankruptcy proceeding might put on hold however long all those proceedings, like it's probably gonna be, the problem isn't even just that you have to now go through the whole bankruptcy process and fight over the assets or whatever the fuck else. It's that location is literally just gonna be off the market now for however long it takes for the bank to go through all that shit is probably what they're worried about there when it comes to bankruptcy stuff, we might guess.
Bricks and Minifig's story is that they were worried about the Gormans skipping town, so they sent Brandon Best as a secret shopper on October 24, 2020.
Sorry. So pretty much all the threads in this resolved. If it was Crystal who stole the Legos, maybe, but the only thing that I've gotten a lot to read from is the plaintiff side of this lawsuit, which is Bricks and Minifigs. It might be that Crystal and them have really good explanations. We haven't heard their side. Oh, I'm guessing that's in this video.
This is weeks before the takeover. Brandon takes a video of the store condition in preparation for this handover. But at this point, Brandon does not announce himself to This is weeks before Brandon Best as a secret shopper on October 24th, 2024. This is weeks before the takeover. Brandon takes a video of the store condition in preparation for this handover.
Ooh, this is sneaky. Okay. If they come back to repo the store and like all this shit is gone and it's not reported to Bricks and Minifigs, then that's really bad.
To be fair, I don't think those are the Star Wars ones.
Doesn't matter. They made it sound like when they came in that the store was, they said their description was ransacked. So if she was fucking looting everything before she not even skipped town, but skipped the country, but we'll see.
But at this point, Brandon does not announce himself to Crystal Gorman. Later, though, on November 14th, once again, the same concern about the Gorman stealing or theft was expressed by the McNeffs.
Brandon was trying to make sure that they weren't taking things from the store, and so he was kind of trying to make sure that he wasn't putting things, you know, like hiding things in the back, and that he, like, and while he was watching that, was trying to make sure Ben wasn't grabbing stuff from the store and moving it or doing anything along those lines.
Wait, so this is when they're kicking him out. Does that look ransacked to you?
I can't rewind the video, Milton. Sorry.
Pressed by the McNabb.
What was that original video? Can you link it to me? Because people really like that original video.
What do you mean? The Ben? What, the Reckless Ben?
Whatever this video of them getting kicked out. Does this look ransacked?
This comes from Reckless Ben.
Sure.
I don't think that looks ransacked.
I mean, it doesn't to me. I don't know what else there is in the back or on the walls or whatever. But I don't know if this is referring to the ransacked.
I can link you the Reckless Ben video. But yeah, this is when it seems like from the Reckless Ben video is when they're getting escorted out. Lego Part 1.
It's also low resolution as fuck, so it's hard to say.
It is, but here, I think that's the original. I don't know the timestamp off the top of my head.
Are you fucking serious?
This man spent his life collecting.
You little fuck boy.
Paid for.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't.
Okay, wait, well, so like this kind of does look a little, like, is this shelf like completely emptied or whatever? I can't tell. This here? And is everything gone from the back here? This kind of does look a little bit more.
I don't know how much I need to pay him.
And like, are these shelves?
Still shit in all of the cabinets. The shelves we can see still have shit on it.
A little bit
empty.
Of things,
it's just the back. It's just the back of whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much is normally here or whatever, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
That's a bit.
Like these cabinets, these look ransacked, right? Wait, can you see this bottom part? Like it looks like stuff was taken from here. But I mean, there's still stuff in these cases.
Side,
so
sure.
who knows? I don't know.
Business thing and not necessarily yours. It's taking on the business. They're gonna cakes on all.
Okay. Anyway. Okay.
You know, like hiding things in the back, and that he.
Wouldn't they just have inventory lists? So according to Bricks and Minifigs, no inventory list was turned over. So.
Problem.
Incidents there too, BAM requested access to, or I'm sorry, incident there too, BAM requested access to, and that copies of all relevant business records be provided by Salem LLC, which Crystal and or Benjamin refused to provide, including inventory reports, agreements, financial statements, etc. So.
And while he was watching that, was trying to make sure Ben wasn't grabbing stuff from the store and moving it or doing anything along those lines. Because he just got a weird feeling about the whole transition.
She took at least one, if not more than one, cartfuls of things out to her car with her coat draped over it.
Wait. Was that in the video? I want to see that. He must have that on video if she was doing it. He must have. He absolutely would have gotten that on his phone, right?
So yeah, the McNeffs say, look, they don't trust the Gormans. And they explained it, you know, even further. They said, hey, there's some issues in her past. So they sent Brandon Best as a secret shopper on October 24th, 2024. This is weeks before.
On her record.
I don't know.
Theft and other criminal, like, arrests on her record. That we were not aware of.
When was that?
I don't know. This has been brought out by several people online now.
Now look. That's a huge accusation to bring up, and so obviously I wanted to talk to the Gormans about it. They're like, she has a history of some type of burglary, theft.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, that's what they're
saying.
Don't dispute it.
Well, yes.
Sorry. Stop! She's about to explain! Stop laughing, Mooten. Stop! idiot. She's about to explain, you fucking retard.
Okay, go ahead.
Well,
You know about this.
Explain.
Yeah, when I was 19 years old.
How long ago is that?
I am 45 now.
See? There you go.
So this was in 1999. This, something that happened 25 years ago, has no reflection and no bearing on what happened in the last 2 years, my management of the store, what happened the night corporate seized the store. It is another deflection. And it infuriates me. You're gonna try to publicly embarrass and shame me for somebody that was manipulated by local police departments when she was pregnant and 19 years old? Fuck you!
Wait, what? Did the police make her steal when she was 19? I'm getting a little bit of white woman coming from this person, but okay.
That's my response to that. I am so sorry. You're gonna have to blur and cut a lot of this, but that pisses me off. I own what I have done. I own the mistakes that I have made. You cannot.
Hope I'm not spamming. Here's a link in the video to the claimed original contract. Let me guess. This is going to be between Brian and her, but not have anything to do with the franchisor and the franchisee?
Specifications and approval, if we so require.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. It's an actual...
situations where a bona fide successor does not have knowledge of the underlying obligations and doesn't have to assume them. But Bricks and Minifigs Corporate has argued that consignments violated franchise policy or were unauthorized under the franchise agreement. So we took a look at the Bricks and Minifigs 2003 franchise agreement, which does not say that stores can't use consignment. Quote, subject to our standard specifications and approval.
Approval?
Wait, hold on. The contract didn't say I couldn't do that. Excuse me, what?
If we so require, you may also offer the following products and services, consignment services. And that's just on the first page. And the franchise agreement template reiterates that on the first page, quote, additionally, franchisees may also offer consignment services. And Reckless Ben states in an update that Crystal Law provided the actual franchise agreement that she signed, which explicitly allows consignment agreements.
This is you're looking at a boilerplate. This is the introduction of the contract. This isn't even the actual contract that was signed. This looks like the boilerplate franchisee agreement that the corporation offers. So this is where they all start from.
Services. And Reckless Ben states in an update that Crystal Law provided the actual franchise agreement that she signed, which explicitly allows consignment agreements.
Where now looking at that would be really interesting. Yes, this is what we read earlier. Yeah. Now for that, can we see that anywhere? Does anybody have a link to that?
Now, additionally, there are 4 references to consignment in these documents, and none of them are an outright prohibition. And even if Bricks and Minifigs
intimidate and bully me into backing down when I know that legally and morally I am in the right. And
whoa! Exhibit B, franchise agreement. This agreement identifies Bricks and Minifigs Salem 1 LLC as oh my God. Oh, this is the agreement. Okay, then this should settle everything. Okay.
That'll settle it. Oh.
This is it. Right here. The actual signed agreement.
That's it, baby.
Did they ever specify consignment term? Ooh.
Yes or no?
I'm not. Are they all loaded? Is this control Fing the whole document?
Try to control F the word the.
Good. Oh. It doesn't sound like, unless it's written in a different section then, it doesn't sound like this has anything then related to consignment here. Let's see what we can go into. Hold on. Introduction, grants of rights. I wonder if it would be in here. Franchise fees, development and opening of the store, training and guidance. I wonder if development, opening the store. This all looks like the marks. No.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Huh. Or your organization and management. Operating standards. Okay. It would be here. Services, products, and vendors is my guess. Right to inspect, transfers, termination. Okay, so 8C on page 21. Service. Oh, this is what we read in the lawsuit, I think. Uh-oh. You acknowledge and agree that the rotation franchises developing products are not approved by us. Franchise override. To ensure the consistent high quality and uniformity products are. affiliates, or approved vendors to demonstrate different nature. There's a to be purchased for the store. We for resources franchisor may make arrangements for certain products. Franchisee is prohibited from carrying more than 10% of all items offered for sale in its store, including in its inventory of products on the premises to be non-LEGO branded products. The franchisor makes no warranties regarding any vendor products or supplies and hereby disclaims the implied warranty. Okay. Franchisee may be required to use and or offer for sale any and all branded merchandise or proprietary products developed by franchisor. Okay. Franchisee shall not make any changes to proprietary products. Okay. Franchisee may not independently act as an exclusive distributor for any third-party vendor or secure any exclusive rights to distribute products and or proprietary products inside or outside of franchisee's territory. Without franchisor's written consent, franchisor shall approve manufacture or produce any product that is similar to or competes with any franchise product. Okay. I think it would be here. That's why this is the section that showed up in the lawsuit. I don't. If this is the contract, then I don't think.
So she did no wrong.
What?
So she did no wrong then?
No, she did. She was doing...
Oh, so she did wrong.
It sounds like she was doing this consignment business on the side. This would have been in contravention of, my guess is of this section here of the services that they agreed to provide because she didn't get this in writing or approved ahead of time.
That's not good, right?
Well. Yeah. Well.
What do you want me to say?
This is a vibe thing. It doesn't matter much. But also when people do this like massive indignant thing and they don't have any points to say, it always bodes poorly. But yeah, this is probably not.
Intimidate and bully me into backing down when I know that legally and morally I am in the right and I have the evidence to back it up.
Wow. If there's not explicit prohibition or permission, what is that? I don't know what that means. Not explicit prohibition. That terminology doesn't make sense to me. You're a franchisee. You have the relevant part would be right here. This is what you are allowed to sell. Is services, products, and vendors. So the franchise further acknowledges that we spent considerable time and effort in developing the products, services, processes, methods, and methodologies, and technology used in the operation of a bricks and minifigs business. Accordingly, franchisee acknowledges that franchisee is required to sell and use only approved products, supplies, vendors, and suppliers that include, but is not limited to, new and used Lego building bricks, Lego minifigures and accessories, blah, 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 blah. And then it just goes through here. Nothing in here says you can do your own consignment shit on the side. Haha, lol. I am now at 87.5% probability that she was just running an illegal side business out of this.
This is getting kind of nasty and personal at this point, and I just wanted to give people kind of their side. But at every turn, I hope you understand, I'm getting contradictory stories, down to if the McNeffs knew about her history in the first place.
Like, they're bringing up something that I told them about.
Wait, you told them?
Told them. They asked me.
They said they had no idea. They said if we knew, we would have never hired her.
Because we would not have hired
This is not, I don't think this is that relevant, but okay.
her had we known this.
I told them I had a record from when I was 18. There was a family issue that, and didn't go into all of the details, but they were like, that's so long ago, we're gonna hire you based on who you are now.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. You guys can make up your own mind. My point is, one side says up, the other says down, and it gets to the point both sides start hinting that they have photographic proof from the night of November 14th that proves the other side is lying. And so I'm like, look.
Does a consignment to sell a collector's Star Wars Legos not count as selling approved Lego merchandise according to the contract? Fuck no. Consignment is a different, that's a whole different process. Because they're not selling them at all. What they're doing is they are providing a venue by which to facilitate a sale and then create and then collect money from it. That's not the same as selling, as buying from the other guy and then selling the product. My guess is, I think it sounds like as long as it's an official Lego thing, they're allowed to buy it. I believe that's how this reads. So if they would have bought his collection and then sold his collection, I think that would be covered by this contract. But that's not what they were doing. They were providing a consignment service, which it doesn't seem like was covered by their contract here. Lucid, please stop quoting me things out of the introduction of the fucking contract. That your balls are also getting crushed tonight. Please, for the love of fucking God, stop quoting from the intro to a fucking contract. I'm gonna blow my brains out in a video game. Stop.
Crush them.
Look, at this point, let's stop talking. Show me the Legos.
Where I was told we are 100% have possession of photos that prove that the Gormans are lying. And
like, if you want evidence of, like, I can't, if you're retarded and you just want to go and die by the fact that it says here they may offer consignment services, and you're like, oh, that means they can do it. If it was a real contract where consignment was a thing, my guess is there would be like a whole subsection related to the consignment terms. It would say something like, if you are, or for people that you have agreed to do consignment. For consignment, this is the percentage of inventory that you're allowed to have on consignment. This is the percentage fee that you may collect. This is how blah, blah, blah. There would be something in here written about the terms and conditions of the consignment process. It would be my guess. The fact you would never, in a especially this is a big boy contract, 87 fucking page franchisor contract. You're never going to have like, oh, it says franchise right here. No, there would be a whole subsection and subsections dedicated to how this process would work. 1 trillion %. Please, for the love of God.
Crush my balls.
Why is consignment mentioned at all? Because this is the introduction to a contract. It's just telling you all the potential things that the bricks and minifigs business might allow you to do. There's probably other things in here that aren't covered by this contract because it's not a service or it's not a thing that they elect to do in their particular contract. I might write like an introduction to, you're signing up as a franchisee of Destiny.gg. Well, part of what we offer is, additionally, you may have a sex cult and blah, 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 and all these other things. But maybe for the particular location that I franchisee out to, they don't want the sex cult. Well, fine, there wouldn't be a thing in here. But that would still be part of the introduction to this contract as part of the overall services that my corporation allows franchisees to offer, or corporate entities or corporate locations to offer.
That would be foolish if they didn't want the cult.
True.
It's just good business.
And you guys are telling me we 100% have possession of photos that prove this side's lying. Who's going to drop the photos first? I mean, I feel like someone just has to, somebody's right here.
And after a lot of convincing, both sides agreed to show me the photos, corporate and the Gormans. In fact, I scheduled the calls to do this an hour apart from each other. But let's remember their positions for a second. The Gormans say whatever was left unsold of Brian's collection that was in that store spreadsheet was in Salem store the night of November 14th.
Hold on.
In fact, I scheduled the calls to do this an hour apart from each other. But let's remember their positions for a second. The Gormans say whatever was left unsold of Brian's collection that was in that store spreadsheet was in Salem store the night of November 14th.
Fuck. What is the spreadsheet? Have we seen a spreadsheet, or is he just assuming there was one?
There's a spreadsheet in the Reckless Ben video that basically is saying like what.
Oh.
They linked a spreadsheet. Yeah, the Brian guy.
Okay, but we don't know
Here's
anything. But we don't know if they. Yeah. But we don't know if they provided that spreadsheet to the corporate, to the franchise, or anything like that. Okay.
No clue.
Then you have corporate side. They say whatever was left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this spreadsheet. So this is just. It sounds like this was just a thing between. Wait, is this a spreadsheet of all the Legos?
I would assume so.
Jeez, this guy, what the fuck?
Yeah, he had some shit, man.
He had a lot of these motherfuckers. But it also sounds like it's saying...
fit in a safe, I was like, that's wild.
Yeah, what the fuck? Wait, but it's also saying the higher end estimate for all of this was about $100,000?
If that's what it's saying, then that's possible, yeah.
Okay.
Left that night was maybe $2,000 to $5,000 of Legos. The rest was either stolen by thieves, the Gormans, or held off-site. It was not in that store. And on both sides, there's a lot to lose here, right? You've got the Gormans, who basically have been insinuated to have been stealing. And for Josh and Brandon, too, the new franchise owners, there's a lot on the line. I reached out to Josh, and he told me, I think her pictures would only show a few sets and minifigs. I replied, so if I can prove that the Lego sets were in the store, that will prove Brandon was lying?
Okay, and which one was Brandon? Brandon was the... new that was the guy that came in and took the pictures, right?
New guy, yep.
Okay.
Josh replies, if it shows something different, then yes, I will eat my words.
Uh-oh! I think our pictures only show those few sets of minifigs.
Two, the new franchise owners, there's a lot on the line. I reached out to Josh, and he told me, I think her pictures would only show a few sets and minifigs. I replied, so if I can...
And which Are we talking about pictures of the store on when they took it over?
Prove that the Lego sets were in the store, that will prove Brandon was lying. Josh replies, if it shows something different, then yes, I will eat my words. So the...
Can't you say, at the very least, the lawyers who wrote that specific contract should have explicitly stated the franchisee cannot perform consignment services? The intro at least gives the time. No, shut the fuck up. No, because normally you don't. Normally this is why lawyers read contracts and not fucking retards. Because it would be a retard who would look at a contract and go, well, they didn't actually say that I couldn't cum all over the fucking children's Lego products before I fucking handed them out. So I fucking came on every single fucking one. And it says in the beginning of the contract that we are allowed to offer special services. So I thought a service was me coming on everything. Shut the fuck up, you fucking retard. No, stop.
Stakes have been established. And let's see the evidence, starting with Matt McNeff. First, he showed me the video, October 24, 2024, for a baseline of how the store looked.
Okay.
So this is the Salem Kaiser location, is that correct?
Salem Kaiser location, yes.
So is it fair to say I'm seeing quite a few Legos here? I mean, I'm seeing a store of Legos. You'd agree?
There's a good amount of Lego.
Whoa, look at all the Lego guys!
On hand. This isn't what I would say is a well-stocked bricks and minifigs, but it's not terrible. It's I would say a little below average as far as
he said it was left
stock.
ransacked, right?
Yeah.
But does that look ransacked to you?
No, but this is the video. I think this is the first video that he took when he came in originally as a secret shopper.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yep.
It's not terrible. It's I would say a little below average as far as overall stock. So now let's go to November 14th. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
hold on. Go through a contract ambiguity analysis. I think you're talking out of school here. Fuck you. I know I've signed more contracts than people in chat, okay? The average chatter at least. Here is the, and I challenge any lawyer to correct me on this. If there is a ambiguity in the contract, then what you do is you contact the other party to the contract and you get in writing verification. And you would do this for two reasons. One is because, generally speaking, you usually want both parties of a contract to be happy about it. You don't want people to feel like they're getting fucked over. Number one. And number two, especially when liability or big dollar amounts get involved, you want to cover your ass. You don't want to embark on a whole fucking adventure based on a potential ambiguous reading of some term or condition or some clause in the contract. And then later on, the other party's like, excuse me, motherfucker, you were not allowed to do this. And now, especially if you're the signee, if you're the opposite party to the larger entity, guess what? You better fucking believe that in any contract like this, I don't know, you can go through it, there's probably going to be some arbitration clause that says that you can't just fucking sue them initially for it. You've got to go through mediation, some arbitration court that is generally preferential to the corporate side of things than retarded fucking owner. And you don't like, is there, hold on, I don't know is there an arbitration? Maybe there's not. Oh, dispute avoidance and resolution. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's a whole section on arbitration. Oh, notice it's not just one fucking phrase like you fucking retards think for consignment. Oh, generally you don't want to go through this process, especially based on an ambiguous reading of a fucking thing. You would get it in writing beforehand and you would say, hey, just making sure, am I allowed to do this on the thing? You might even, if you want to go above and beyond and not be a total retard, you might even say, could you send me like an addendum to the contract that we can both sign with language that I'm comfortable with just to make sure that we're both safe here? Although you get it in writing in an email with somebody who's authorized to represent the company, you're probably okay. You might even get an addendum to the contract to make sure that everything's okay, all right? You know? Just saying. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe you would just eat the Legos and then piss them out of your urethra.
So now let's go to November 14th. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mooten. This is supposed to be post-ransack.
This is it.
Okay. So November 14th. When Brandon was in there helping.
Wait, this is the day. This is like the big day.
This is the day.
Hold on, I gotta hurt myself emotionally for this. This is a big deal. This is D-Day. This is the big moment. This is Brandon takes over the store.
This is it.
We don't know where the
This is it.
Legos are after this moment.
We don't know where the Legos are after this moment. And I want
Play the fucking video, old man.
Why does the Bricks and Minifigs website say that their franchise agreement expressly prohibits consignments when it doesn't do so? Because in a way it does, because they say that you're only allowed to do these things if you get writing ahead of time to sign off on it. So you could view that as like expressly prohibits this thing. I don't know if I would necessarily use that language, expressly prohibits the thing, but you're not allowed to do it. It is pretty express. You can only offer the service and everything. It's a franchisee. This is what, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this is kind of what franchises are. There's a larger corporate entity like McDonald's, and it wants you to sell McDonald's products. It doesn't want you to make your own cheeseburgers. It doesn't want you to make your own ice cream cones. You generally have to sell McDonald's products and do it the McDonald's way, because to a normal customer, you don't want an ordinary customer to walk into McDonald's and go, oh, wait, this is a weird franchise McDonald's. I only want corporate McDonald's. The goal is that there is some harmony between all the McDonald's that are offered, even by franchises and corporate locations, whatever else. I'm gonna bang your mom.
I want to point out again that we've had this for a while.
Store name, actually.
True.
Well, we haven't put. This is the first time we've shown this publicly. We've been waiting.
Oh, we're getting exclusive footage dropped here first on Destiny.gg.
For our attorneys to give us the approval to say, hey, this is okay now to share in this capacity. So, we'll go through these pictures.
Are you ready? You need to evaluate. Does it look ransacked? Okay.
This is what Josh saw.
Little compared to what we saw in the video. These shelves seem a little emptier.
Or not Josh, sorry, Brandon saw.
Ransacked though.
Well, they took. I mean,
nah.
Well, they took. I don't know. It's not as much as was there before. Hold on.
Took pictures of everything in the store, all the inventory in the store. This is what the shelves look like compared to.
That's a little more. It's a little more ransacked.
What we just saw a moment ago.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot less. Just
I don't know how much was there before. It looks a little. I'd say a little ransacky.
Let's say I go to McDonald's and they don't have like 4 things on the menu. Would you say this McDonald's is ransacked? Yes or no?
If I went to the back and all their hamburger trays were laying on the floor like this and there were no hamburgers in them, I'd say.
Just to state the obvious, go back a little bit.
They are literally closing shop. Why would they have these on the shelves? Excuse me, she's not closing shop. They are fleeing. They are abandoning a location that they are $175,000 in debt to the franchisors on. This is not a normal store closing thing. This is we're abandoning ship because we're massively in debt and don't want to pay any of it to the fucking owners thing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like way less. So yeah, the pictures I was...
Oh, even the robot man said he sees way less. Well...
being shown on November 14th, those shelves looked emptier than they did on the day of October 24th. But to be fair to the Gormans, they addressed the empty shelves themselves.
As we get to the very end of this video in particular, right here, you'll see that empty space right here. So this is the retired and certified set section that we have to keep separate from the new in box current sets being sold by Lego. All those empty spaces up there were the sets that we had on display during the day from Brian's collection that every night when the store closed, we pulled off and put back into the safe and then put back out in the morning.
So when they say, see, there's empty space on the shelves, yeah, because we put them in safes at night to keep them safe.
Because we have giant windows.
Boom! They're in the safes. I told you. That's where the hamburgers are.
Okay. But then they should just be in the safe still then, right?
Duh.
Okay, let's see. Let's get to the safes. Okay.
Explanation that kind of makes sense given the history of burglary. Now, of course, this is something I had to ask the McNeffs about. Is this a case of, did y'all see Star Wars sets in the back? Did y'all not see the Star Wars sets in the back? Did he take, not in the back, but specifically in a safe? Like there were a bunch of Star Wars sets in a safe. Did Brandon see those? Has there been talk of those? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. My understanding is that he took pictures of everything, and all those photos I showed you of the Star Wars were all the photos, or was literally all the Star Wars inventory in the store.
Yeah, the McNeffs say all of the photos should be with Brandon of all the Star Wars items. And to be fair to them, they showed me a lot more pictures and even showed me a spreadsheet of all the Star Wars sets in the store the night Brandon took it over. And it valued to about like $5,000 to $10,000 or so. But then I had to ask.
No way.
Okay.
That ain't worth shit.
Well, Crystal could have stolen them. The new guys could be not reporting them. The new guys could be...
Brandon stole
Brandon could have... Yeah, he could be stashing them in his special, super special safe. Where the Corpo could have stole them somehow. Let's see.
Oh, sorry, here's another kind of set.
We're only 16 and a half minutes in. Okay. It's a 54-minute video.
Oh, shit.
Who knows?
Okay.
Do you think y'all have all of these?
Very likely.
Okay.
Again, I'd be surprised if we didn't.
Okay. But then I couldn't help myself. I started to bring up some of Crystal's photos to see if they matched up. Have you seen this before?
Not that I recall.
So, do you see that?
Nah.
Yeah. So do you see it's in like some kind of like a safe thing? I don't know if you can see the sides there.
Looks like a bookshelf to me, but sure.
Okay, sure, yeah. So I think the important thing is making sure that all of these are in the inventory for Mansell.
Sure. Sure, that's cool.
75041.
Oh, he got caught.
Wait, did he?
Probably not, but I'm playing it out. Yeah.
Sure.
Wait. Well, so these are the pictures that the woman provided, and he's asking him
the safe.
if he's seen these pictures, and he says no. Now he could be lying, but
sure.
Maybe. Okay.
That's cool.
75041.
I don't know. I've never seen that before.
Yep. Vulture Droid.
75169.
169 I'm not seeing, so there may be... Okay,
really?
So there's one that is not on our list.
Let's try this.
10240.
Wait. Are these his pictures or her pictures?
I am not sure.
At the beginning of this.
At this point.
Hold on. Fuck. Oh, they're her pictures. Okay.
Okay, nope, not seeing that one either.
Okay.
What about 9493?
I don't see that
What's
one
the
either.
metadata on when these pictures were taken?
Well, he's not seeing these in inventory, but they might have stolen some. Hold on.
Maybe those were locked at the time, and Brandon did not get those pictures.
All right, that's kind of a problem because the Gormans had over 200 photos of this store. I definitely knew looking at these photos, there's a lot more Legos in the Gormans photos, by quite a lot that Brandon's photos just didn't show. But corporate didn't really see it that way.
But still, in the grand scheme of things, we're not talking, again, 10 times the amount of sets here.
I don't know. I haven't shown all the photos yet. I don't know exactly how much.
If there's a calculable figure that we can look at and say, great, this is what was there, I promise you, it's not $100,000 worth of Lego. And so where's the rest of it? You got me. I don't know.
Maybe I'm a little too in my head about this U-Haul story. You don't think it could have been some U-Haul thing? There's no way.
Oh, yeah, have we talked about the U-Haul yet? We got to talk about the U-Haul for a second. This is another one of those things that was like really disputed between the two parties. Was this U-Haul that supposedly was driven up to the store the night of the takeover.
So when Brandon came to the store that night, he was driving a U-Haul truck.
Now, in typical fashion, this was immediately disputed.
Brandon showed up to the Salem store in a rental car. When he came to get the keys.
Wait, they said
night. He was driving a U-Haul truck.
Now, in typical fashion, this was immediately disputed.
Okay.
Brandon showed up to the Salem store in a rental car. When he came to get the keys from Crystal, he was there in a rental car. Not
show
in
me a
U-Haul.
photo.
It wasn't
Show
until
me a photo
after
to
he
you all.
told me he was taking the keys and locking me out that I really kind of paid attention to the fact that he had a large, not the small, the large U-Haul truck.
Whoa, you a big boy.
So yeah, I just kept hearing about this U-Haul truck. Now, why is it significant, U-Haul or not? Well, one, a U-Haul truck can fit a lot of Legos, but the big reason it mattered to me was because I was actually called by an ex-employee of the Bricks and Minifig store in Eugene, Oregon. Remember, that's the one that
the secret agent?
Brandon and Josh owned. And he told me something
No,
very
they own
interesting.
the other one, man.
Do what?
They own that one in Eugene, Oregon, which is probably like an hour away or two from Salem.
Oh.
So what if he took it and put it in his store?
What if it's a double consignment?
Holy!
What if
He
Crystal
consigned it to his store.
got the Legos on consignment, she wasn't allowed to do it, and then she consigned the Legos to another store to sell when she left,
shit.
so that way she could collect the money? Oh my fucking God. No shot. No.
I'm a former employee, started in 2024, and I was working under the old manager Brian. He sold the store to Brandon Best and Josh.
What store was this? Bricks and Minifigs, where? Okay, now what did you see that made you want to talk to me?
No way. It's not gonna happen. No way.
Well, it wouldn't be the double consignment because Brandon owns this store. What would actually happen is Brandon would have just taken these Legos from this new Bricks and Minifigs that he just took from, right? Took from the Crystal Lady. He would have just taken them to his store and then sold them there.
Oh.
So he might have genuinely stolen.
Well, but he would have to account for the new inventory, right?
What if he just didn't take a photo? Which is what's being disputed,
Oh,
right?
so he's just secretly running his own side store in his official store and then having a second set of books for it? Okay.
No, you goddamn hooligan. What's happening is Brandon was the one who went to the Salem store and picked up all of like the Legos, and he was supposed to be the one going in there and taking photos of everything to tell corporate.
Yeah.
What I think he might have done is he might have just stolen a bunch of the expensive Star Wars Legos, driven it to his store that he owns, his franchise, Bricks and Minifigs, in different part of Oregon, and then sold them there.
Wait, that's what I just said.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't get that.
Well, I meant like when I say an illegal side business, what I mean is that like he would put them on his shelves in his other store, but when he sells them, he wouldn't tell the corporate because he knew.
Yes.
Oh, because it's called Unclean Hands. You know that she was in an illegal consignment business, so you jack her supply, knowing that she can't complain about it.
What are you gonna do? You know, you stole from the drug dealer and you sold his drugs.
Oh, hold on. Okay. That would be a wacky reversal. Let's see.
Okay, now what did you see that made you want to talk to me?
I saw. What if he says I saw a whole bunch of these things coming in?
Reckless Ben's YouTube video about Salem's for closing down because I was talking to my co-workers about the situation about Salem, and we were told through other employees that it was just a bad area to work in. It was like haunted, if you will, is what was going around. But after seeing the video of Reckless Ben, he exposed them, and it makes a lot more sense with what we dealt with Brandon and Josh. Like, oh, Crystal stole Lego sets and bolted out of the country.
Who says that?
Brandon Best told us when he was dropping off all the Lego sets to us that night.
Which Lego sets? Now he needs to get pictures from them because if he could match the new Legos,
he could.
And then that would be.
Used, like, there was a bunch of used Lego sets. That's that were like Saran wrap. They had Star Wars City.
The city, the Star Wars City. That was one of the big ones.
Star Wars City?
That
would be the Cloud
City.
That one's worth like
$10,000.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. It was like a medium-sized U-Haul truck.
Wait, they brought a U-Haul.
The U-Haul truck. Uh-oh. Hold up. Uh-oh.
Truck.
Yeah, from Salem to Eugene.
And to Eugene.
Hold on, Mooten. You don't think Brandon is going to do the big meme? You know what the big meme would be, right?
What would the big meme be?
Him saying, when he's like, well, hold on, we got reports you were in a U-Haul truck. And he goes, well, yeah, a rented car. Hello. I don't own the U-Haul truck. I rented it, right? You don't. That would be pretty. Uh-oh. Hold on.
And it had a bunch of Star Wars sets on it?
Yeah, Star Wars sets, like everything. We have a bunch of used stuff, too.
Wait, and was this when they took over the store from Crystal?
I believe so, yes. Yes, because he said that Crystal stole Legos and left the country.
While he has a U-Haul of Legos?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Weird.
he said, we're just going to hold on to this stuff until corporate tells us where we have to distribute it. And like, well, it'd make more sense if we could take it because we're kind of struggling with, the product we put on the shelves.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. It could just be that they seized the inventory from their store, maybe. But let's see. Okay. If he says rental car was a U-Haul truck, though, that's pretty weird.
That's cooked.
You really got to find out. Was there a U-Haul that night or not? Because everybody's disagreeing about it. This Eugene, Oregon guy said,
U-Haul.
oh, yeah, a U-Haul showed up with Star Wars sets in it. Brandon was talking about the Salem store. You got Matt McNeff saying there was no U-Haul there. It was a rental car. You've got Crystal saying, yeah, I thought it was really weird. There was a U-Haul truck there. So I told the McNeffs, I really got to find out what the truth is.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
If you know anything about it, let me know, because that's just something I heard.
I do, and it has nothing to do with the Salem store. Well, at least not.
Uh-oh. He's going to be like, Brandon's brother Josh had to move the neighboring store. Hold on.
Not the Salem store in the way that it is there. Brandon showed up to the Salem store in a rental car. When he came to get the keys from Crystal, he was there in a rental car, not in a U-Haul.
So when there was the handoff, there wasn't a U-Haul, it was a rental car.
Correct. He was there in a rental car.
Got it.
Yeah.
But did he bring in a U-Haul later that night?
Okay.
And I think any of the, like, if you were to look at the footage, the rain cameras, all that stuff, you won't see a U-Haul sitting anywhere in the parking lot.
After hearing all of this, I realized, look, I just got to find the evidence. So I start sifting through these photos I have, right? I realize I have a parking lot photo. I check it. No U-Haul, just a red truck.
What time is it, though?
Out there. I check another photo where you can see the window. But the problem is, it's night outside, so you can't see. And so I'm looking at everything I can, and there's just nothing, I have this alternate angle. I'm looking at that.
What?
But then...
Mooten!
I can't tell, man.
What is that?
I think that might actually
Mooten, that's a U-Haul! Mooten! That's a U-Haul truck! That's a U-Haul truck!
Okay, keep going.
No!
Oh my god, it is!
Bring up the brightness of this photo a little bit, and... my gosh. There's a U-Haul in the parking lot right outside of the store the night of November 14th, 2024.
Whose truck is it?
This is something that Matt said he had seen footage of, and it couldn't be true.
And again, I believe I've seen footage from that night that shows clearly out into the parking lot, and there's no U-Haul.
After seeing this...
Well, fuck, but he needs to clarify at what point in the night. If he's talking about just like the key handoff or during normal hours. Wait, what time was this photo, though? Well, hold on. Because if this photo was taken inside with the lights on, do you think the lights stay on inside overnight?
Probably.
fucking.
I feel like a lot of stores do. God damn it! Do you have ad blocker?
No, I don't even. It just does this.
Bring up the brightness of the.
I feel like stores, when they turn off like the light, I feel like they always have like the night lights inside on, so it's not like totally dark.
Yeah. But wait, is it even locked up right now?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So like, if the guy was looking at security footage of outside, he should see it, right?
Yeah, but the store's not even locked up. Like that thing right there.
Well, we think it is.
I think that
everything I can.
We think it's. You and I are just guessing that it's not locked up. I don't know. My guess is it's. Oh no, because we can see a guy right there with a hat.
There he is.
Who is the guy with the hat? We need to know who the guy with the hat is. Wait, was the other guy ever with a hat?
I think so at one point, but I'm not sure.
With a white hat.
This alternate angle, I'm looking at that, and then wait a minute.
Okay, so there is a U-Haul truck. Hold on, Destiny. That's him with the white. That's the guy.
That's Brandon.
That's Brandon.
Yeah, that's
Nah.
Wait. Is it the same other uniform too? Hold on. Loading.
Nothing.
Oh my God. YouTube sucks.
That's got to be him. That's him.
That's him.
That's him. That's him. Okay. Now, did he have a U-Haul and a rental car? Or did he just have a U-Haul? Or is it somebody else's? Or... Hold on. Do we have any more camera footage of him, like, leaving or anything? Or...
records from cells. Just so she has a receipt of what's due, that's right?
Yeah, otherwise I won't know. These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
Okay. So Crystal, ultimately, that's a business thing and not necessarily yours. Brandon will take, because taking on the business, he takes on all that kind of side net liability.
I want to go through and figure it out.
Ooh, now, oh man. I feel like everybody's just fucked their shit here. I feel like the reason why she wants to go through and find whatever she's looking for her second set of books, kind of, her other additional paperwork, because she knows that this business is not going to take on whatever consignment stuff. The guy on the phone says it because he just must not be aware of what's happening or something. I don't know. But I think she's looking for these receipts because she knows that they're not going to be able to make that Brian Mansell guy whole because this is like a side thing that she's running, I bet. Who is the person talking to her right now? Is that the CEO of the company or whatever?
Can't tell.
Is that Josh or whatever?
I want to go through and figure it out.
The COO?
I gave you the mail.
Wait!
Box.
Oh, never mind. Okay, two guys.
And the silver.
Oh, that's her friend, husband, person, or whatever.
And then the...
That's a corporate employee? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, keys for the back storeroom and the safe are in the safe. Yep.
712 7182.
Okay. Coffeezilla, come on.
Alternate angle, I'm looking at that. And then...
There it is.
Zoom in on that photo. Bring up the brightness of this photo a little bit and...
Get the license plate.
Gosh. There's a
Enhance.
U-Haul in the parking lot right outside of the store the night of November 14th, 2024. This is something that Matt said he had seen footage of, and it couldn't be true.
And again, I believe I've seen footage from that night that shows clearly out into the parking lot, and there's no U-Haul.
After seeing this, I said, I really have to make a call.
Yeah?
And that's when the story changed. So last night...
By the way, this is why in depositions and court, everything else, people tell you not to speculate. The guy could be honest. Maybe he did see some footage and he doesn't remember seeing U-Haul. Maybe he was just wrong, but now his credibility is kind of hurt. Now his credibility is like kind of fucked here. Now he's going to be like, well, I was whatever you say at this point is going to...
I talked with Matt McNeff. I brought up this question of the U-Haul.
Okay.
He told me emphatically there was no U-Haul. Y'all came to me this morning. You said, hey, we looked into it. There actually was a U-Haul there that night.
They came to him.
Well, wait. Did
Really?
they? Wait. Did they look into it, or did he like email them and ask a question and then they looked into it and then he called them to talk about it?
told me emphatically there was no U-Haul. Y'all came to me this morning. You said, "Hey, we looked into it. There actually was a U-Haul there that night." Can you clear up what that's about?
So there's actually two different things that are going on here, just to help you understand. And I don't know if.
Ooh, I don't like that language there. To help you understand.
Let me help you get
abuser
this.
talk.
That is abuser talk.
Yeah, that ain't good.
If you want this particularly not on the record, but we do know of a disgruntled former employee that worked at another location that back on the 24th of October.
Wait! This is the secret caller? That's who he's referring to, right? Okay.
It could be.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Former employee that worked at another location that back on the 24th of October, there was a U-Haul that went to a storage unit in Salem for another previous franchisee, like for a different situation that we had just, gone through some things, and he had a previously, like, hey, I have some inventory that I didn't turn over that I was supposed to. It's at this storage location. You guys can come pick it up. And so Brandon was sent on that day to pick up with a U-Haul inventory that then he moved down. But that was October 20th.
69! Larky, thank you for the 69. Okay.
I don't buy this at all.
Here is a huge problem. This is why, honestly, you just shouldn't lie, ever, okay?
True.
If he... Okay, we'll give him a chance to explain, but if he would have said he didn't show up in a U-Haul and he had another rental car, and you were like, he had a different rental car, definitely not a U-Haul, and now you have a whole ass story for why he definitely had a U-Haul, why did you have this other thing about how, like, oh no, it was definitely a rental car, not a U-Haul? But now, like, you can't, when you start to make up details past a lie, now it looks like you're really intentionally lying and not just misremembering. Eliminator, thank you for the 5 unit subs. Chat. We all love you.
Pick up with a U-Haul inventory that then he moved down, but that was October 24th.
So when we're talking about this ex-employee, you're saying they are conflating the October 24th event of the U-Haul coming up to Eugene with Legos with sometime after November 14th, after the store takeover.
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, that's about the U-Haul that was at the other store. Okay. But what about the U-Haul outside Bricks and Minifigs?
Is that correct? Am I understanding that?
Yes.
So this
I feel like he should have written down that timeline. You should be really sure on that, but okay.
Is now kind of a strange story. Corporate is saying there was a U-Haul at the Eugene store dropping off Lego, but that was from a different night, different collection.
Okay.
The CEO says Brandon showed up to Salem on October 24th for his secret shopper job with Crystal, and separately, he also was getting a different collection of Legos that also included Star Wars, and that's what he brought to the Eugene store, and the former employee is remembering. Then, weeks later, on November 14th, Brandon supposedly shows up again with a U-Haul, but the reason isn't for hauling Legos.
Okay.
Brandon.
Okay. Oh, the second U-Haul. Okay. All right, let's go. All right.
Flew in to Eugene that night. At midnight. So flew from Utah on the 13th, but landed in Oregon on midnight of the 14th. Went and got a rental truck, and then went and stayed at a trailer that had previously been moved up there.
By rental truck, does he mean a rental U-Haul or just a truck that he would hitch the U-Haul to, or?
Went and got a rental truck, and then went and stayed at a trailer that had previously been moved up there in anticipation, meaning a camper trailer, in anticipation of the potential hostile takeover previously.
Is that why he had?
Wait, what? Hold on.
Hmm. Did you see the meme I sent you?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, good.
This is like a unit. This is one thing, I believe. There's
no trailer on that.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a trailer attached. This is like a full. Yeah. But okay. Okay, so we must be getting to something different, or
his rental vehicle truck, and he tries to connect the trailer.
He had a U-Haul. Is that the reason he had a U-Haul, was for this camper, or what?
Wait, hold on.
Of the 14th.
I think you can maybe connect a trailer to this U-Haul truck. I think you can.
Well, if it's got a hitch in the back, theoretically. But why would you ever do that? You would just get a bigger U-Haul, no? Because they don't even have. They're not even close to the larger. They weren't even close to having the largest size U-Haul you would rent.
But the reason isn't for hauling Legos.
Brandon flew in to Eugene that night. At midnight. So flew from Utah on the 13th, but landed in Oregon on midnight of the 14th. Went and got a rental truck, and then went and stayed at a trailer that had previously been moved up there in anticipation, meaning like a camper trailer, in anticipation of the potential hostile takeover previously.
Is that why he had a U-Haul? Is that the reason he had a U-Haul, was for this camper, or what's going on with the?
Yes. So then what happens is he takes his rental vehicle truck and he tries to connect the trailer, the camping trailer, to that truck, and it's not rated for that particular weight, and he realized, oh crap. He called around and found that U-Haul had a rating for one of their box trucks, and so he grabbed that, went and got it at 10 a.m. on the 14th, and so he then went and hooked that trailer up to the camping trailer to a U-Haul, drove that trailer down to another location where he could set up the camping trailer in Salem, dropped off the camper trailer, and then he arrived in a U-Haul to the Salem store, and then went in, said hi to Crystal, and then as she was leaving, the door shuts, and so he locks it, calls the locksmith, takes him a while to finish up the changing of the locks. Brandon at this point is pretty exhausted, so and he has an hour drive back to Eugene to drop off the rental truck. So he drops it off at midnight or 1 o'clock, something like that, grabs the rental truck, and then heads back up to the camper trailer.
This is what it's like trying to watch JJK or whatever, right?
This is the average fucking DGG ban appeal, man. Like, it's a fucking, they're waffling. Like, it's cooked.
Maybe this is true, but you're gonna need a lot of fucking receipts and shit at this point to prove this story. You gotta have, otherwise, because you just went from a very simple, like, well, we just rented a car and yeah, there's no U-Haul, to like, actually, let me tell you this 37-minute story for why there was a U-Haul involved. Because what the fuck?
Salem. And then, it probably gets in at around 2 or 3 in the morning, spends a couple of, gets that's a little bit of sleep before he has to head back to the store at 9 a.m. before the other employees get there. The timeline that is trying to be portrayed just makes absolutely zero sense.
Okay, so I asked, obviously, for documentation of
yes. Oh, God. And the guy's going to say, oh, we're in a lawsuit, so we can't give you documentation on any of that.
All this from Brandon. And here's what I got.
Oh, are you ready? Here it comes. We're in the middle of a lawsuit right now, so we actually can't release any of that documentation here.
First,
oh, okay, hold on.
U-Haul contract on November 14th. This checks out what we already know. Then I got sent a photo. The last one.
Is this like
True
a dead
Detective?
parrot? Like, what the hell?
This is True Detective. I remember those symbols. Holy shit, there's gonna be a body inside.
Checks out what we already know. Then I got sent a photo. The last one Brandon took in the Salem store, dated 9:44 p.m., where you can see what looks like the inside of a bird cage that the Gormans had.
Okay.
And lastly, I was sent a photo Brandon took of the mileage in the U-Haul as he dropped it back off at the rental place on November 15th, 12:41 a.m.
Okay.
Now the time gap there is
we got mileage in, mileage
out. Okay. Jesus.
About 3 hours between the last photo in Salem to dropping the U-Haul off, which is a bit of a problem for our time gap. There is about 3 hours between the last photo in Salem to dropping the U-Haul off, which is a bit of a problem for our timeline.
Yeah, it took like 4 hours. I mean, I worked till like 11 o'clock, I get up early for my other job.
You moved 4 hours of Legos out of this truck.
Oh, so that means that the Corpo story is a little bit more credible than this disgruntled ex-employee story.
It takes about an hour to get from Salem to Eugene.
Sure. But the disgruntled employee guy is saying that it took him 4 hours to unload everything.
Well, you know how it is when you're working a shitty job. Everything feels like fucking forever. But yeah.
Okay, well.
All right, so as weird as this U-Haul thing is, the timeline just doesn't fit, to be honest. If it took 4 hours to unload, you can't also drive to another city, load and unload and drop off the U-Haul in that time. But still, even if this is true, it's pretty weird, and it's one of the most bizarre stories I've ever heard to have a U-Haul thing
you should see my court case. Just kidding.
Back to back. One of the times you're picking up Legos, the other time you're not, you're taking a camper. Nevertheless, without more proof, we kind of have to move on to another theory of how to find these missing Lego. This time, let's take the photographs that we have and reconstruct what was in the night on November 14th. Remember, that's the moment we lost the Lego. And this time, we're going to combine it with 2 more things. First, from corporate, I got the point of sale records from the Salem store from 2023 to 2024. And secondly, from Crystal Gorman, I got her internal records of Brian's inventory of what was sold or not in order to pay him and keep track of prices. Now, before we piece things together, I need to address something. At the beginning of this story, you saw the social post saying this collection was worth $200,000. That's what everyone knows this story as, the $200,000 Lego collection. But sadly, that post was entirely wrong. In Crystal Gorman's inventory, which has a high and low estimate value of these various Lego items, the real estimated value is about $107,000. They give high estimates and low estimates, but that's right there in the middle. And for simplicity, I'll just be using averages and estimates here, but understand that, these numbers are not firm, given that they're unsold Legos. It's just rough possibilities. But the point is, it's worth nowhere near $200,000. And Reckless Bin, the one who made the—
Oh, man. We got twists and turns all over the place.
The original video covering this said that surprised him.
Yeah, this entire time, literally every single person's been telling me—
No! This is going to be like the thing. This is going to be like the Bernie math thing, or where it's like, oh my God, where it's like, oh, it seems like it's one way, obviously. And then like it gets more and more complicated. You're like, holy shit, maybe it's totally not that at all. And then you loop back and you're like, oh fuck, it was actually really obvious the whole time. This guy's just retarded. Oh shit. Oh no.
There were $200,000. Like, that's how much.
But that also means that this guy and all of his friends are
retarded, yeah.
Are super fucked on that civil litigation. Oh no.
This entire time, literally every single person's been telling me there were $200,000. Like, that's how much, like—
I thought he checked. That's what I was saying. Maybe this guy is like the hidden fucking jujitsu master and he's like one step ahead always. But maybe
he even shows that on the spreadsheet he's seen. He should know.
Oh no.
He put the spreadsheet in the video too.
You sell all these sets for.
My original assessment of about $200,000 was going up to his father's house and looking in 3 different rooms with all the sets. It was before I'd actually gone through and had set numbers and done an actual evaluation. I looked at it and went based on as things progressed and as I started to delve more into the actual inventory and evaluating it, that number changed. But we put out the press release well in advance of the event itself, so that—
Oh, so they lied about their illegal side consignment business.
Press release went out before I had those.
It's worth whatever people pay for it.
True.
It could be $2 million.
Fucking
Who knows?
true. Absolutely true.
Full numbers. So we went, this is a nice even number that will grab attention and bring people into
This is like when
it's just business.
This is like when Pixie, during the deposition, when she was like, "Well, I deleted the message so it would look better for my Give Send Go." It's like, why would you just say that? Why wouldn't you lie about that? Why would you say that to me? Hello?
Those full numbers. So we went, this is a nice even number that will grab attention and bring people into the store. So we went with that.
And yeah, still, to believe that is accurate at the high end. Like, it was one of those things where when she was looking through and going, well, it says this and it says this, like, you don't think even at the high end?
You haven't actually seen the spreadsheet.
No, I haven't.
You might want to cut that part out because he hasn't actually seen the inventory sheet.
Oh, he's trying to sweep for her twice, by the way.
The spreadsheet says from between 85,000 to 120 something thousand, in the midpoint about 107 or something like that of what was inventory. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this has been a really big point of misinformation to clear up, because if we're ever going to find the missing Lego, we need to start with the right number, the right value. It's about $107,000.
That's even worse than what he'd make on the S&P, like by far.
Is the part 2, is all that still up or no?
I believe so. Part 1 is.
Bring a friend for free.
What an ad. Right there.
This?
Yeah.
Do you think he knew the whole time? He said he was surprised.
He couldn't be surprised. He has shown the spreadsheet in one of the videos.
Yes,
It
but there was
literally says
also
it there.
but there was another thing too that they said, but I thought it was just somebody misspeaking. Remember when they talked about going to small claims court?
Yep, they went for 100K.
One of the thoughts you had was taking the small claims court, right?
No, because it's way too much money to take to small claims court.
You can't take someone to small claims court, Ben, for $200,000.
Yeah, it's $12,000 at the most, right? $12,500.
Everyone hated option number 3.
Wait, hold on.
And I guess it makes sense.
No, wait. That's not what I'm looking for. Hold on.
The $10,000 one, yeah.
But I'm not giving up. We just need to get creative.
Theoretically, if you wanted to, could you take in the small claims court?
If you wanted to limit it. If I wanted to limit it.
But you would at least get $10,000 out of that, though, right?
We could, but it would be giving up $100,000 more, you know?
There it is. Case
So,
closed.
Why is he saying he's surprised then by it being...
he's lying.
Hold on.
Now, between 2023 and 2024, the Gormans record sales of about $24,000 of Brian's collection in their inventory tracking list. And of those sales, Brian was entitled to about 65 to 70% of it. He was paid $17,000, which roughly tracks with that. Which means on November 14th, the big night, the remaining amount of Brian's collection that should have been in there is about $82,000. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realize this is a very different number than corporate provided, who found only $2,000 to $5,000 of it linked to Brian. And later they said they only found $13,000 to $15,000 in total Lego Star Wars.
So you're talking maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total.
Wait. Do you hear that music?
Lego Star Wars.
Hold on.
So you're talking maybe $11,000 to $15,000.
Does that sound like something to you?
No, not really.
A little bit?
You know what?
It kind of does, right?
It actually
Lego
does,
Star
yeah,
Wars.
So you're talking maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total Star Wars.
Right there.
Okay, just thought it did.
And that's
okay.
All, maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total Star Wars, and that's all Star Wars inventory in the whole store.
So that's corporate side of the story, but I didn't want to take their word for it.
Of course
So I went through Crystal's photos myself, which she shared with me, and hired people to go through and hand tag the Star Wars Legos that were in these photos. We looked through over 200 plus photos, multiple videos, and matched what we saw with Brian's collection. In the end, I ended up with about $21,000 of Legos.
Where's the rest of the Legos?
Uh-oh!
Matching Brian's collection that can be proven to be in the store on the night of November 14th. Now, to state the obvious, that's about 3 to 5 times what
that's
corporate
to be
estimated.
proven in the store that night.
And that's from the woman's perspective, right? From what she took photographs of. So it should be everything, including the...
Well...
What?
There should still be stuff... Well, hold on. Now I'm confused.
What?
Where's the other fucking like $60,000?
Yeah, that's the question. Where is it?
Holy. Okay.
Based on their press release. Now, yes, there are inherent errors in these estimates. Maybe we picked up some Lego that matched Brian's collection, but wasn't Brian's. But even though this is a bigger number than corporate said, I have to admit, even with pretty generous assumptions being made, there's still a huge gap of about $61,000 here that I just couldn't find. But then I learned Brian had made a special side deal with M&R Productions.
What? Hold on. My food is ready. 1 second. Are we still going to get the double consignment? Hold on.
I watched this Lego guy. I'm thinking of giving this Zan's Zolfutin person a special tag, because every meme that they link is a banger. It's never been a bad one.
Wait, you don't know about Zan's?
Dude, look at this new one that he sent.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah. The Zan's always links banger memes, but I want to ban him for like 20% of the memes that he makes. So, but yeah, they're always good.
Yeah, but they're good. They're always good.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Whew, another turn. Let's go.
Who had recently purchased some Legos from him, and this is where it starts to get messy. So these
now it gets messy?
Pictures that M&R Productions sent me, looking at the Lego that Brian sold him. This was stuff reportedly in storage, and it's interesting because of an early inventory list, which had a...
Wait, Brian sold him those Legos that were just photographed?
I don't know.
That's what he's saying, that Brian had already sold him these?
From him.
Go back.
And this is where it starts to get messy. So these are the pictures that M&R Productions sent me, looking at the Lego that Brian sold him.
Oh, was he trying to double dip? Brian is the guy who originally owns the Legos for his dad, right?
Yes. But it seems like M&R already had those Legos, no?
No, he's saying this is from Brian, I think.
Is that... I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah, no, that's what he just said.
About $61,000 here that I just couldn't find. But then I learned Brian had made a special side deal with M&R Productions, who had recently purchased some Legos from him. And this is where it starts to get messy. So these are the pictures that M&R Productions sent me, looking at the Lego that Brian sold him.
Understand?
Looking at the Lego that Brian sold him.
Yeah,
these are pictures he sent me.
No. So Brian sold the M&R guy these Legos.
Yes.
Yes.
But the question, so it's an English issue right here, okay?
What?
Because it's an English issue because technically M&R Productions could be taking a photo of these at his house that Brian had sold him.
Yeah, well, M&R owns these now because Brian sold it to him.
Sure, but then why are these even being brought up then?
To double dip, because Brian wants to get double paid.
But how would Brian get double paid if they don't have the Legos in store to sell?
Because they're claiming the corporation stole them.
Oh.
Yeah.
This was
because remember we couldn't find all these Legos. They were missing.
No way.
Stuff reportedly in storage, and it's interesting because of an early inventory list which had a column called location that Crystal used, and it listed a lot of the Star Wars items as being located in what they called storage. Now previously I was told that all of the stuff in storage was put back in the store, but there's a bunch that's on this list that I can't find in the store that seem to appear in these pictures.
Whoa, did he cross-check the numbers?
Now, I've been assured, by the way, that most of these Legos were not part of the inventory spreadsheet. They were never given to Bricks and Minifigs. This is a separate part of the collection. But I did a check.
Oh, no!
100% of the items that match the Brian collection inventory.
100%! What?
Just
this
so
guy's
happened
trying to
be
get paid
listed
out
with
again.
Location
He's
of
the scammer.
storage. Collection inventory just so happened to be listed with a location of storage. So this starts to make things incredibly fuzzy, and I'm inclined to believe that a lot of these are part of that same inventory list.
Wait!
Dude, this guy had a GoFundMe for like 700K.
Well, wait, so who... But who's even the thief here then? Did Crystal get... Well, no, because Crystal would have had to have let go of these as part of her inventory.
Well, maybe he also had access to the storage place, right? And then it sounds like Brian sold them to M&R.
Maybe... I don't know, man.
Now, if we take that value of the side deal, that's about $10,000 to $20,000 that's not actually missing. Now, it's at this point I started looking more at...
Why does he never consult with this robot guy anymore? He needs to bring the robot guy back in. He would talk some sense into this.
The point of sales records. I realized maybe we could find some of this missing Lego there too. So
this is how Reckless is going to look after giving the GoFundMe money to Brian. Did you see that?
No, let me go see. Oh.
No! Nah! Nah! Holy shit. What, in the Mormon church were the good guys the whole time? Is that possible?
Convince me. And tell me every last thing.
Dude, Reckless Ben is gonna get sued for all he's got.
He's gonna get so fucked.
That's gonna be the Bricks and Minifigs YouTube channel.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. I don't know why this guy's saying don't show this on stream.
Oh yeah, he just sent it to me too,
yeah. What? Well, that would be kind of weird, no? You need to get a lawyer and take them to court. It's a civil matter, not a police matter. Wrong. It can be both civil and criminal. Wife and brother are attorneys. And we have spoken to several as well. This is the original Lego owner? Oh!
That's crazy. If your wife and brother are if they're attorneys, like...
So this is from the Salem internal store records. Like, I guess this is what is entered when someone does a sale. And it's everything from September 2023 to November 2024 of Star Wars anything. And by the way, before we continue, yes, this was all a lot of work. If you want to, please support us on Patreon.
I will. I am joining his... I'm doing it right the fuck now.
He's my king.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
you
100% expected him to take on the fucking Populo, Sloppo, fucking Corpo, bad, whatever bullshit and not do any real work on this. And he put in the work. Going through the pictures and manually tagging and finding...
Yep. We got to make this guy the FBI director.
Yes?
Boost?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
With the robot? With the suspenders? He only has a $5 membership. Is he a cuck? Is he an actual cuck?
We're bringing in Coffeezilla. Goodbye, Cash.
Shut the fuck up.
I'd confirm him. This is gonna be Hunter Biden's AG. I'm down.
Supporting
let's
the
do
creator
it.
financially. Add more details. I love your investigative work and your commitment to getting to the bottom of things, even if it means making big enemies along the way. Exclamation mark. Okay. God damn. Okay.
That's how this show gets made. But anyways, according to those records, about $51,000 in sales went through during this time period in a way that matched Brian Mansell's collection. Now, that really worried me because Crystal's inventory list showed only $24,000 in sales for Brian, and Brian was only paid for that amount. But
wait!
We're back to Crystal scamming.
Because she was showing more sales than she was counting on Brian.
Anyways, according to those records, about $51,000 in sales went through during this time period in a way that matched Brian Mansell's collection. Now, that really worried me because Crystal's inventory list showed only $24,000 in sales for Brian, and Brian was only paid for that amount. But suddenly, I remembered back to a time when I spoke to Crystal, and I asked how much was sold prior to the takeover. Which is something similar from what you told me, Crystal.
Yeah.
You told me, hey, it was about 50-something thousand.
Yeah.
But Brian was only paid $17,000.
Okay.
And it should have been about...
I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm giving you my insight as a professional white woman dealer. Anytime you get that response, when you catch a white woman doing some fuck shit.
And they say, okay?
Yeah, and they're like, okay. They're not agreeing with you. They're not disagreeing. They're just like, okay. Okay.
That's because their brains are going. They're thinking. They're scheming.
No, they're getting ready to fight. That's the fight or flight mechanism. How did she gave him the wrong set of books. You're going to keep two sets of books, guys. Okay, there's a reason why, like in Shawshank Redemption, the guy was so happy to have the prisoner who like knew everything about accounting. Okay, it's a lot of work. All right, if you're going to scam the government and scam other business owners and scam everybody. Okay. Before, at the end of this video, he digs up her criminal records, and when she was at 19 years of age, he actually stole $30,000 of Lego figurines, and that was what her crime was.
About double that, and I'm just trying to make sense of that, given that everyone's accusing each other of theft right now. You understand?
I mean, without seeing any of those records, without seeing those individual tickets, I can't answer that any better.
Why? You don't have them anymore? Nah. You don't have. Also, that's your answer? Excuse me? Oh, I don't know. I can't. I know I paid people that I say I've paid. I don't need to. Oh, I don't. You have to show me the. Yeah, you have to show me the PayPal on that one. I don't remember I ever paid him anything ever. I don't know. Maybe I scammed him for half his shit. I don't know.
Okay.
She pulled the.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Those individual tickets, I can't answer that any better.
Okay. This is kind of a problem. The math ain't math in here. 65 to 70% of 50,000 is almost double what we believe Brian was paid. And digging into the details, it turns out a lot of these sales come from what Crystal's spreadsheet actually categorizes as layaways, meaning they were marked as having been sold, but layaways are when someone puts a down payment on an item and later pays it off. But the problem was there were a lot of these, worth about $20,000 in layaway. And that felt a little strange to me. And because of that, I asked Josh Johnson, the income...
Who is buying Lego figurines held on consignment via layaway? I bet... I don't even know what I would bet, actually. Was she taking out loans again? I don't even know if you could do that. What the fuck?
Coming owner, and he responded, quote, "There were 2 to 3 items on layaway when they took over." So on the list of that, she's in combat mode. On the inventory list, do you know about how many layaways?
I haven't gone through and done a count, but I know it was.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Then 2 to 3.
It was about 98.
That makes sense.
So there were about
98?
$15,000 to $25,000 worth of sets on layaway.
Okay.
That's just the part.
Go back like 5 seconds?
Yeah, what about it?
Who's putting a $10 set on layaway, man?
Well, wait,
or is
maybe
that the payment?
Maybe it
for
was part of like a
$40
larger deal or whatever.
Okay, maybe.
Great. Now I gotta wait for it to load. Thanks, Mootin. Thanks.
That makes sense.
So there were about 15.
Wait, fuck. Hold on. We need to look at this. Hold on.
98.
That makes sense.
So.
Pause. Good.
Maybe it was part of the same sale.
I don't. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
How many? Where are my accounting people, or my legal people? When you get a set of books from somebody and it's just like an Excel spreadsheet and it's very obvious that they're not like actually utilizing their POS system or they haven't set it up properly and they're dumping everything into like 1 or 2 columns.
What does cost mean? Is that how much they put down?
I don't know if that's how much they're selling. No, that's probably how much they're selling it for. That'd be my guess, right?
Well, no, because there's low value and high value next to it, and the cost, quote unquote, is 4 times as low.
Oh, maybe that's what they bought it for. Is that what I said?
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, that could. I guess. All right.
Well, actually, yeah, I have no idea. Well, I don't even know what we're looking at here, actually. Because with this $15,000 figure is coming from low value, right? But that's not the cost of... I don't even know.
There were about $15,000 to $25,000 worth of sets on layaway.
Like, you should know the number to that, right? This is not like, quantum field theory. There's like an excitation, and probabilistically it's anywhere from who knows until we measure the value of the sale. What does this mean? What you should know the actual number, right?
Okay.
That's just
why is she... I wonder if at some point the husband was like, oh shit, I think my wife was up to some fuck shit.
The part that's surprising. That's the part that I can't get my head around.
He's like, that's right? And she's like, I have no idea. Anytime when people start looking at shit, this is when people get caught like lying or cheating or whatever, and you're like showing them like evidence that they clearly know they fucked up, and they're like looking at it like they're seeing it for the first time, like, that does look kind of bad. Like they're not the person being accused, like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's this face right here.
I go, how could, let me just be really honest. I don't believe there was that much layaway. I don't know. I don't know how that's possible. How could there be that much layaway? I don't know. It's like I don't believe, because I was talking to some people about bricks and minifigs. They go, yeah, there's some layaway. There's not that much layaway. I talked to people who were neutral, kind of on corporate side, but also people who were just normal bricks and minifigs people. They say there's not that much layaway. Help me understand why there's $20,000 worth of layaway here.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Here it comes.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely. If you talk to other bricks and minifigs locations, layaways.
Well, he just said that.
Extremely rare. I think outside of the Brian's collection.
Okay, good. I'm not crazy here. So then why was there so much layaway there?
No. Absolutely not. Outside of Brian's collection, I think at the time we maybe had 2 used sets on layaway outside of his collection. Okay. It was not a common thing traditionally. I don't know that we'd ever done layaway before the collection came in.
Oh, she's
With
squirming.
Brian's collection, it was a little bit different because so much of this collection were new in box, all in one place, reasonably priced, and a lot of the harder to find items. And so customers would come in and put, I'm gonna guess probably half of those layaway items were not gonna be sold to the person who took them on layaway, because we had several.
I'm sorry. From a business perspective, bullshit. I don't believe this at all. If these items are so fucking hot, because these are basically auction tier, right? Like it's not like there's a set price for these, right?
Yes, new in box, you can.
If there are so many people coming in, somebody's like, whoa, I want to put that one on layaway for $40. Then you'd say, excuse me, if it's so hot that people are willing to buy it for $40, then fuck you, I'll sell it for $50. Why the fuck would you ever layaway stuff that's like, it's super in demand? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why would you do that?
That would.
Oh man, he's realizing over here. Also, where did the shadow figure controlling them go?
They said, I'm getting out of here.
The girl figure in the background, where did the shadow figure go?
Put them on layaway and then change their mind. So this was something like, you know, somebody would come in and want 10 different sets, but only be able to buy one.
Then you say, tough luck, buddy. What do you mean? What?
Can I put the rest of those on layaway so you don't sell them? I'll pay $10 to put these sets on layaway. Traditionally with layaway, we would ask for 10% down. They'd have 30 days to make their next payment, or we'd refund the layaway amount and then put it back on the shelf.
Why would you refund the layaway? You're paying to take it off the... Why would you give the money back? What? This doesn't make any sense at all. Why the fuck would you even do that? What?
She's not good at business.
Because this collection was the collection it was, and I wanted to give these people the opportunity to, to get these sets, we were a lot more generous with how long and the amount of payments that people could make towards the layaway.
Nah, what? What? We were super generous while our business was $175,000 underwater?
So a lot of these, we had several of them. I think one of the Ewok villages, we put on layaway 4 different times, and then it came off of layaway and back on layaway and then off and then sold. So a lot of these would have gone on and off of layaway and then back out on the shelf, just depending on the person who was putting it on layaway. That was completely unique to this collection.
So look, I'll be honest, I don't trust Josh Johnson, but something is weird here.
So a lot of these are, see, like, look at this. Like, so like it says POS final sale price, but it's listed as a layaway, but it's sold for $5.99.
Yeah.
Because it matches with the store sale price.
Okay.
So were they on layaway? Were they accidentally marked layaway on the spreadsheet? What's going on there?
I mean, without seeing the actual sales ticket and seeing what else, like what items were sold together, what else was sold with it, I can't actually see the sales ticket. We had several layaway items in which customers were putting multiple things on layaway, paying for most of one item, and then, or they were buying, 8 different things together and then putting
do they have like a fucking finance division in their store? Like, how are they managing all this shit? What the fuck? Oh, that's Kathy. She's coming in for the 10 cents in the back. She's already put layaway down on 2 of them, and then she's paying in full for 1, and then she's gonna pay in full for the other 7, and then pay off the rest of the other, or 1 of them, and we're gonna take that 1 off layaway. Like, Jesus Christ.
I've watched a lot of Kitchen Nightmares, and this does sound like the retarded fucking business owners, though.
8 different things together, and then putting all of them on layaway and making payments on multiple items at the same time. Our Ewok village was one of those cases. At some point, he had, I think, like 8 or 9 different items on layaway. So they'd come in and make a payment for a bulk payment. I've got 800 things on layaway. I'm going to make $100 on my payment.
I thought she said that they refunded the layaway, though, after, no?
One customer in particular would do that, and then when he'd gotten up high enough to pay for 1 set, we'd pull that set out, mark it as sold. So without seeing the actual tickets and...
They were financing Legos? Bruh.
And my layaway records, I cannot answer a question any clearer than that.
But I even found more than that in this POS data. I also found about $10,000 in sales that match Brian's collection that were not marked as sold under this inventory spreadsheet.
Some of our things that were not found were explained by the POS system because they were found in the POS system as being sold. So like they weren't marked on the spreadsheet, but they were marked as sold via the POS system. And this is about $10,000 worth of Lego that basically were matched.
You haven't checked any of this? She's acting like it's the first time she's seen any of this. Before all this internet drama blew up, you didn't think it was a good idea to maybe get your ducks in a row here?
See, and I don't know. Take anything happening from, let's see, sorry, I'm trying to do math here. I don't know without being able to see all of the records There is a possibility that the consignments were ended when I wasn't at work and I just didn't go through and pull them up. They didn't get put in the consignment ticket. I hadn't gone through those consignments in a couple of months. I hadn't gone through the inventory in the back room in a couple of months. So it is entirely possible there were sales that were finished that I never clocked as being finished.
Hello? You're not logging your layaway loan repayment schemed fucking Legos anywhere? How the fuck can anybody even know what the fuck is happening?
I don't know that without going through and actually seeing it.
But you're saying it's possible stuff was sold, not updated on this inventory list.
It's entirely possible that stuff did not get updated on my spreadsheet. I'm not going to sit here and claim it's not possible. It's possible I missed things.
So where does this leave us? I know some people are jumping to conclusions here, but I must remind you that on the night of November 14th, 2024, Crystal Gorman was concerned about Brian getting paid or not getting paid.
He has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
Okay. So Crystal ultimately also...
What? She wasn't keeping track of any of that beforehand? She wasn't ready for any of those before they came to... It's because she has a second set of books. She 100%. 100%! She's fucked all of this up.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. Brandon will take... Because taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment.
So obviously, one could see that and say she was intending to reconcile with Brian. Maybe she hadn't gotten around to it. And of course, corporate will probably take a more cynical view of what she's doing by printing these receipts. But the point is, regardless of whose side you're on, I think we can all agree there's a lot of weird stuff here on all sides. Abnormal stuff. Sure, maybe you can chalk some of this up to bad record keeping between the U-Haul, the layaways, the $20,000 in Lego sets that corporate called $2,000 to $5,000 that was there that night, the off-book deals. But even if we can't fully know 100%, what these weird things were about, I think they tell a story of what actually happened to Brian's collection. In a way, multiple people, I think, are kind of right, kind of wrong. The Gormans were correct that more of that collection was there that night of the takeover than previously thought. But corporate also alleged that some of it was offsite, and that appears to be partly true, although some of that is disputed, and it looks like, way more of the collection was sold and layawayed than Brian was paid for. But all in all, there's a lot less missing.
I mean, yeah. We've gone from, originally, it sounds like there was $200,000 of Legos stolen to... It sounds like there's a few $1,000s potentially of inventory that was mismanaged or was on site that shouldn't have been, that wasn't part of the bricks and minifig inventory, but the lady wasn't really accounting for it because she was doing a side consignment business. I mean...
Than many people think, especially if your starting number is $200,000. I estimated, and I must emphasize, estimated with bad records, that there's only about $10,000 to $20,000 in Lego that isn't explained by one of these sources. This isn't to say Brian's been fully compensated. Much of this, Brian wasn't paid for that I know of. So I estimate he's still out about $50,000 to $83,000 for Lego he wasn't compensated for. And I think, honestly, that's something that Bricks and Minifigs obviously should handle. And
most people don't know how to run a business or how difficult it actually is. I tend to assume people are stupid, not malicious, more often than not. As somebody with no experience auditing or going through other people's books, my guess would be that the second you pull out a second set of books, you're on some fuck shit. That there could be issues with accounting and taxes and whatever other bullshit maybe, but once you pull out the real books, you're on some fuck shit. That would be my guess.
And make right. Regardless of what a franchisee does, the new one, the old one, the company behind it must stand behind their product, their service, and I can't imagine a better example of a company doing the opposite.
What does a book mean? When you talk about your books, it's just like the total life of the company, right? So if I have a business and I buy and sell things and I get it through corporate and then I sell it to customers or whatever, I have my set of books for my inventory, for the stuff that comes in that I sell, blah, blah, blah. If I want to do a side business, I can't have that stuff going through my normal set of books. If I like going through my normal accounting, because if corporate ever looks at it, or if I'm trying to, it wouldn't make sense. I can't have that. So I have a second set of books that will include my illegal or illicit trade, right? I also might have a second set of books because books are important, not just for taxes or corporations, but because you need to keep track of what you have, right? I need to know how many, even if I'm doing illegal shit, I'm sure drug dealers up to a certain point, they have their own set of books or whatever, because you gotta be able to keep track of shit. So the second set of books that's the real shit, your real inventory, your real profit and loss, your real everything. The second set of books means you know that you're on so fuck shit that you don't want other people to see.
Unfortunately, Bricks and Minifigs has chosen to deflect and dodge responsibility.
Yeah, it could mean Excel spreadsheet. It could mean whatever, but I'm just saying that.
Opposite. Unfortunately, Bricks and Minifigs has chosen to deflect and dodge responsibility at most opportunities and created a really awful customer experience that has snowballed into this crazy series of events.
I mean, maybe I will say from the very outset of this, that CEO guy talking to anybody, that was unbelievably fucking retarded to me. I don't know what the valuation of that company is or how much equity he has in it or how he came to be in that position. I cannot think of a dumber fucking thing than a CEO running out to debate some kid with a fucking camera. That just seemed like always retarded. Every single time that guy was out there, I was like, why the fuck are you doing this? You have a whole ass corporate legal team to deal with shit like this? Why the fuck would you do this yourself? Why would you ever do that? You use your people that you pay.
But instead of taking accountability for that, they've taken an aggressive legal strategy, which I told them personally was a horrible idea. As of writing this, Brian Mansell is being sued for $1.3 million as part of a legal campaign.
No shot. Where are you getting these posts from? The guy. He sent you the thing, right?
He sent me, yeah.
Salem PD picks and chooses what reports they will take. If you have media connections, this is the time to use them. They have no idea the types of connections I have. Worked in entertainment industry for the last 20 years. It's coming. 27 weeks ago.
No.
No shot!
Oh my
no
God.
Shot!
They're gonna get this guy.
No shot!
I wonder if he reached out to the YouTubers. He must
That's
have.
what I wonder. Well, did Ben? Is it Ben Reckless or Reckless Ben? Did he say
Reckless
in the
Ben.
Did he say in the beginning how they came to?
I don't know.
This man spent his life collecting what's now known as the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection ever. It's estimated to be worth around $200,000. And then the entire thing got stolen, and the police are actively working with the thief.
He said Brian contacted him. Wait, no, I gotta say it again in here. Fuck. What was the thing?
It's probably gonna be in the first fucking minute.
Thieves to cover the entire thing up. But the craziest part is that the collector doesn't even know that his collection's been stolen. Yeah, the collector's son, Brian, well, he reached out to me because he has no clue how to break this news to his dad.
At this point, my father...
Ah.
Bruh! Wait! What's his religion? The enemies to this have been the Mormon people the whole time. What if he's like from a warring faction? Do the Latter-day Saints or whatever? Is that Mormons or Seventh-day Adventists?
He's a Jehovah's Witness.
Or Jehovah's Witness? Do we know? Where's he from?
Holy.
They had a health episode. We can't bring any stress to him.
The reason he's reaching out to me is because the police are covering this entire thing up. And at this moment, I promised Brian that I would not end this video until I get his entire world record Star Wars collection back. But anyways, the thief of this collection is actually a corporation.
Is he doing the... I'm not gonna say it, but... Do you think?
Is he doing what?
Nothing.
Oh.
Stop! No!
Against him and Reckless Ben and any of the...
Wait.
Oh my God.
What?
That could be the other faction.
No, shut up. Hold on.
Give me the background on how you first found out about this Lego situation and how you got interested in it.
At the end of my last video, I was looking for other videos to do, so I just put a little call to action, like 10 seconds long. Hey, if you have a problem the police can't solve, email me at this email. and then I just like set up a little email, just got literally probably 10,000 emails the next like 2 days. And I was actually in line for Burning Man. It was I think a 22-hour line because it started raining at Burning Man. So me and like my 3 friends just all like went through and were like just starring everyone that could like maybe be a cool video idea. And we were looking for a video that was more family friendly because a lot of my videos get taken down or shadow banned and like age restricted because we're talking about like we're trying to take down people that like torture people or that like abuse people, you know, like really kind of not YouTube friendly stuff. So then we see this insane story and it's about Legos and we're like, oh, that's family friendly. This is crazy. It seemed like there was such an easy solution. Just give the Legos back. And it's like very easy to understand. This company stole the little guy's Legos, but they're coming up with legal loopholes in order to like keep it, I guess. And in a lot of my videos, I've always come up with like legal loopholes to do good things. And it seems like this company was using legal loopholes to do bad things. So I was like, this is kind of like the perfect like battle, you know, like legal loopholes for good versus legal loopholes for bad. That'll make an interesting video. And it's about something family friendly, Legos, something everyone can understand.
Yeah, maybe.
He seems like he's there to make a cool little funny video, and now he's gotten absolutely cooked.
As part of a legal campaign against him and Reckless Ben and any of the associates. Remember, Brian is the same guy who lost all these Legos at Bricks and Minifig store. And I told the CEO and COO that's ridiculous and they should drop this.
Well, why hasn't Brian? Did he reach out to Brian at all for this video? Maybe it'll be in the end.
Mistakes have been made by plenty of people here, but there's a lot more people who have inflicted self-owns, the likes of which we've rarely seen, by just choosing the worst possible path at every fork in the road. No pun intended. But the best path to making things right, in my view, is by just making Brian whole and moving on. Drop.
Yeah, but who should make him whole?
Get this guy to go over your case, man.
The aggressive legal strategy. You are a Lego store at the end of the day. You are supposed to be about fun, not about a rerun of Suits. But anyways, that's my investigation. Those are my closing thoughts. And I knew I wanted to approach everyone involved in this whole story with my results and see what they thought to close things out.
Does all that make sense to you? Because I'm showing everyone in this story and saying, hey,
the thing
are any of these numbers blowing your mind, or is any of this crazy to you?
No, it's not crazy. But what's crazy, again, like all the photo evidence that both sides have points to there being, sure, $20,000 worth of Lego of Star Wars Lego in the store that night, right? I don't know, man. I'm just like, can people understand maybe why there was some confusion and why there was some hesitation when somebody comes in and says, hey, you owe me $60,000 worth of product in Lego, and we go, we don't even know who you are. Like, yeah, Crystal mentioned something about consignment on her way out the door.
This whole ordeal is a masterclass in process and procedure. Somebody has a dispute, tell them to take it up with corporate, make them go through the ordinary channels. Until then, they were right to call the police, trespass people. Don't fucking come here. You want to file a lawsuit? File a lawsuit. Don't say anything else. You don't have to give a comment on anything because every single thing you say or do is going to be heavily scrutinized by the public here and is going to come back to, you know, fuck you a million times. Well, a million times harder in the ass. The only thing, like you can still put out statements and everything, but you have a whole HR department to do this with. Why not just like, you know, run it through legal, make a public statement, whatever else. I don't know why the CEO guy was talking to I just don't know why the CEO guy was talking to the people. That was just so retarded. I don't know.
And we go, sure, we'll get that figured out. But then the guy just walks in and demands $60,000 worth of Lego. Like, what am I supposed to do other than say, cool, show me, can you show me the proof?
The problem is there's so much of a dispute on the timeline, and this is what's going to make this story so hard to tell, is like, they say, you guys are unreasonable. They tried, and eventually they gave up. But they say they tried it. They were basically met with, like, unreasonable requests, things like that. So
what is I didn't see, like, good efforts to try, though. Now, maybe they did, and it just wasn't in Ben's video. But it always felt to me like he was just like, here's a spreadsheet of $100,000 of Legos, give them to me. Like, that's all I ever saw. I didn't see any more proof ever offered up. Maybe I just don't remember it, or maybe it was in a part that wasn't in the video, but I feel like I didn't ever really see like a good faith attempt to get anything back.
Verification? Documentation? Is that unreasonable, do you think?
Well, I think they would say they provided the documentation, and you guys say you need...
Well, the documentation was a fucking spreadsheet.
more documentation. So I mean, that's kind of the
right. A spread, like I understand, a spreadsheet and a contract are a good start.
Maybe, yeah, barely. But like, what? This doesn't mean anything. This is like Joan and them. Like, oh, you have to have the cryptographic hash from the. It's like it's just a fucking spreadsheet, bro. What the fuck do you want me to do with a spreadsheet? This is not anything.
Yeah.
But what do you?
Yeah, but we never got that. That was never sent to us at corporate, by the way.
Y'all don't have the.
Oh, they did allege that in the lawsuit. Now they could be lying then, and he could be lying here, but he is consistent.
Y'all do have the spreadsheet though, yeah? Y'all have the spreadsheet.
That was shared online, but months after we asked for it.
This company might need to rebrand, honestly. Well, because like at this point, no, all of the people who watch the original video, they're going to come away with what they, the Reckless Ben take. They're not going to keep looking into it.
Sure, 100%. Yeah, it looks really bad for them. Yeah.
I'm so confused. It says I'm on the file right now. It says storage used, owned by BAM Franchising Inc. Owner Salem.or bricksandminifigs.com.
What are you?
That's not them though. That's her LLC. That's not corporate.
Are you looking at?
It says owner Salem.or at bricksandminifigs.com. That's you guys. It says owned by BAM Franchising Inc. It says created September. Guys.
Oh no, wait. I thought he was quoting for something else. Star Wars lot sold list. Oh no, this is their oh my god, what do you call it? Their domain? Although it says salem.or, so that still might be the lady.
It says owned by BAM Franchising Inc. It says created September 6th, 2024. And when I look at it, this is the Mansell list, I believe.
So this would have been created under so we have the
y'all definitely have this. Y'all have access to this.
Well, I had no idea.
He's so the answer here is so why? Who is this guy? Whatever happens, the Mormon police have to be disbanded. This guy needs to be fired. Crystal needs to be extradited back to the United States to stand for wasting everybody's fucking time. Okay. Whatever the fuck he's gonna say, okay? Because honestly, and I almost actually believe this, that he is being honest here, and this is just on some fucking corporate drive somewhere using a corporate domain. The answer should be, when you retake possession of a franchise, there is a standard transfer process to go through by which the franchisee transfers all the records and documentation, everything over to the franchisor. That should be the answer here. Not that like we're gonna go through every random fucking file on a Google Drive that might be assigned to an email, because there might be a trillion of these fucking files scattered through. But like he gives the worst possible response here. What is he saying?
Definitely have this. Y'all have access.
Like if somebody were to come up to me and say, Destiny, you owe me like all this shit, and I was like, I don't think I owe you fucking whatever. And then somebody's like, well, I've got a spreadsheet right here, and it's inventory at destiny.gg, and this was created 2 years ago. And it's like, okay, well, fuck. Like, technically, I own the domain, and I can log into the Google Workspace, and I could have technically looked at it, but I don't fucking know. Why the fuck would I know every single fucking file on my domain? I'm not gonna know this. But he just gives the worst fucking answers. He's so fucking retarded.
We have the
y'all definitely.
Look at 6964 on the spreadsheet. Bob Fett's Slave 1 Micro.
Micro like your penis?
Shut up.
You have this. Y'all have access to this.
Well, I had no idea. Like, so if this is the first that anybody has shown me that
it's the first time I've ever seen it.
A spreadsheet was created using like Bricks and Minifigs Salem, and all of this stuff was archived.
They might not even use any Google fucking shit. You might be able to just use like that email to sign up for a Google thing. They might not even necessarily have access to it. Maybe depending on how their emails are configured.
They've hired all the retards at the top level. I don't know. Like,
well, he's
why
not
are
just
they even talking to
he's just not
Coffee?
a retard. He's the CEO. So he's like the king
He's
retard.
the retard.
He's just so fucking retarded.
This is the first I've seen that this spreadsheet was created by Crystal. And we don't know how accurate it is, how up to date it was. We don't know a lot of those types of things. And understand, I appreciate you sharing this with us because we had no idea. Again, you don't know what you don't know. And you can't, like, we don't know everything. And we don't go, like, looking in every nook and cranny everywhere. Like, we just don't.
Oh my God. He's so, I don't even know, bro. Like, why are you saying, just shut the fuck up.
Know some of those things. So if that's there, we can now have our team go look for that.
When it comes right down to it, they're going to have to make a judgment call and say who's telling the truth the people who were taking all the pictures and say, and we couldn't take pictures of everything the night of, but we're being honest consistently, and the people who are saying, there was $5,000 there. Really? Like, that makes no sense. We've got the evidence, and yes, there's a discrepancy. We acknowledge we did not take pictures of everything.
You missed how much? What? How many tens of thousands of dollars of pictures that you missed?
Like 30,000 minimum.
What?
Yeah. But does that mean that the discrepancy is, oh, and therefore these missing, percentage, whatever that would be, 5%, is some magical other place? Or it was sitting there in the store and we didn't get pictures of it.
If I messed up,
explanation.
If I messed up on my record keeping, I will take accountability for that. It's possible. If my staff didn't draw attention that consignments had left out, so I'd move them to the thing. Any of that, I will take.
I also don't like that he did this whole video and didn't address the actual consignment claim here, because that is a pretty big underlying part of this as well, but.
Take accountability to that. I am more than willing to do that. I need BAM to show me those tickets.
As they promised to do.
I will sit down with Brian and talk this over.
Do you know, are they in France right now for this?
I think Spain.
Or Spain? What are these EU outlets? They don't use the two prongers, or am I thinking of the British outlet?
Oh my, you're a genius, dude.
Wait, hold on.
That's an American outlet.
It looks like it, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
Nah.
Wait, are they not even out of the... Wait. What did they say at the beginning of this? Hold on, wait. Spain outlets. Wait. Spain outlet.
I think Spain's got like the weird Portugal one. I don't think it's this. Is it?
Yeah, they have like, isn't this like the EU one? This weird fucking...
It's got like the... Yeah, it would be like something like that.
Wait, did she say at the beginning of this if she was in America or not?
They said that they moved countries because he had a job offer or something.
Yeah, but in this, did they say that in this video?
I don't remember. Holy shit, that's like some CIA shit, actually.
Well,
just being like, actually, look at the outlet.
Over and figure out what we missed and where it was missed and how it was missed. And
they have a Spain map behind them? No! No! Wait, they ended up not moving in the end and they blamed the situation for not moving. They haven't moved then. They haven't moved. 5226, show transcript. Control F, offer. Control F, move. Control F, Spain. Did they mention moving here?
make that right with him.
I mean, that's new information no one's ever found out, so that's like awesome.
Wait, what?
I'm with Brian and talk this over and figure out what we missed and where it was missed and how it was missed and make that right with him.
I mean, that's new information no one's ever found out, so that's like awesome. They're gonna lose hundreds of millions of dollars because of their own wrongdoing. They're literally gonna destroy their entire company because they're this stubborn over maybe $20,000 worth of Lego.
Sure, I'll be keeping you in the loop with what you know.
Nice. I'm excited. This was good work. My other final thoughts is, dude, you solved it, dude. That's awesome.
Brandon, Best, and Josh are no longer working there.
Wait, the CEO is gone? Is that what that means?
No. Those are the two Mormon guys, not the CEOs.
Oh, what's the CEO's name? Is not Josh?
McNeff or something.
Oh, the CEO is Amon. Jesus. So,
I mean, I'd go higher.
Ooh.
Only $1 million.
Ooh, I wonder if you could get cited in the court case too. Part of the TRO was irreparable harm, and reputational damage is part of that. What if they were like, here is Streamer Destiny with Mr. Mutin saying they might have to change their name?
I could, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I think that I would testify that, yeah, their reputation's damaged.
Where's this $250,000 figure coming from? Bulldozer, link or ban.
How much are you getting sued for again?
Who?
How much are you getting sued for civilly?
Oh, $15 million.
And they're only suing for $1 million? Nah. What the hell?
Oh, since I'm on Patreon, I'll be here soon.
We gotta get that going for AE one day when we start it back up.
Holy shit. What a fucking wild fucking ride.
That was sick. Coffee does a good job.
Oh no. Oh no.
Community. My name is Jack Conti, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Patreon.
In hindsight,
on May 29th, Patreon received an official takedown request filed by Bricks and Minifigs for media and accounts related to Reckless Ben and an ongoing dispute regarding a local Lego consignment issue. This is the verified complaint with exhibits. This is the request for immediate content removal pursuant to temporary restraining order. And this is the motion for the temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. So after an extensive review and investigation by Patreon's trust and safety team, we have in fact unfortunately determined that Bricks and Minifigs can stuff it. We're keeping Ben's page up. And if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't like that, they can sue us. Patreon out.
I mean, they defied a judge's order, right?
I don't know. I seriously doubt that the judge could issue an order.
But didn't we see the whole thing?
Well, my guess is that the order was probably for Ben to take the video down, but I seriously doubt that Patreon could get held liable for that. That would be crazy, I think.
I don't know. We'll have to see what it says.
Fine.
Then we decided to move overseas.
Wait, hold on.
Really?
Oh, no. Somebody would have noticed this. There's no way I'm the first person. This must be like before they moved or something. Bruh, that's an American outfit.
No, this is recently, but yeah.
No, but I mean, like somebody would have noticed. They're not claiming to be in Spain now. There's no way that they're claiming that in this video.
Our Lego franchise and our life savings, along with a giant collection inside the store, which was owned by Brian Mansell's father, was taken by Bricks and Minifigs.
And then Reckless Ben made a great documentary about it, and it has blown up. I know you wish you'd done your makeup before that clip that's in the video, but I think you look great. And look, you even get a little Lego version of yourself. That's a little unfair. I'm just blurry in the background.
Now it's going nuts across a whole bunch of social media platforms. We want to clear up some common misconceptions and add some details.
And yes, it gets even crazier. We will save the craziest detail for the end.
First of all, I am not Amanda. I'm Crystal, also go by Chris.
I'm Benjamin, not Reckless Ben, the YouTube documentarian. I'm Benjamin Gorman, the novelist. We co-owned the franchise.
I managed the store.
We purchased the franchise in February of 2023.
At first, everything seemed to be going really well. There were problems right from the beginning, ways that BAM was not in compliance with their own franchise agreement, but the store was doing well. I loved my customers, and it seemed like everything was going to work out fine.
Then we decided to move overseas because of my work. I'm a publisher at a small press, not a quite publishing.
But they came back. They're going to say here. They came back.
And we thought we might need to be publishing from outside the US for political reasons.
When we approached BAM about selling the store, they pretended to be open to the idea, though they would later admit they had been planning this.
A guy named Brandon Best showed up on a Thursday night and demanded the keys. They threatened us with the police and promised to do an inventory and compensate us. They said they understood there was a large collection on consignment and acknowledged they were taking that over.
If taking on the business, he takes on all that kind of stuff.
This corpo guy, okay? This is another reason why you have your process and procedure. This corpo guy on the phone was probably just saying whatever you have, consignment, whatever, we'll take it on. This guy has no fucking idea what the actual explicit contract is with these people. He probably just trying to get the woman to leave. He shouldn't have. You should have shut the fuck up and you let legal, or you call the cops. You call the cops if you're taking repossession of a business and you have the sheriff there, whoever the fuck else, and you kick him out instead of saying random shit. Because this one line, I guarantee you half the retards in my audience have been fucking freaking out over it. I guarantee people online are going to freak out over it. He said consignment in the fucking phone. He said consignment. This fucking random corpo dude had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. And that's what they're trying to hang their hat on this fucking one line.
They told us the same thing they told Brian Mansell, that we could fight them, but they would drag it out and make it so expensive we would be putting ourselves into a whole lot of shit. Their words. Here's their executive product manager and director of operations, Kai McAllister, on the phone with us the night they took the store.
If we go the legal route, it's going to be a very expensive battle for you, and it's not going to be a good position for you guys to get into. There's not a whole lot of options for you. If you want to go the legal route, it's just going to be a mess, and it's going to be expensive for you.
Yeah, so why not consider talking with us rather than leaping to this?
We jumped on the call with Crystal this morning.
And you talked with her or you talked at her?
We talked at her. If you fight this, then you're putting yourself into a whole lot of shit. It sounds like a threat, and I can acknowledge you feeling that because in a way it is.
I mean, we have no choice, correct?
Yes.
Notice, that's not some franchisee. That's corporate. They want to pretend they're not involved, but they've been involved every step of the way.
Of course, this was a nightmare. We were about to move and now had our life savings taken from us. We still tried, but this loss made the relocation untenable.
Okay, so they are in America. Okay.
Eventually, we were able to find a lawyer to represent us in Utah, where BAM is headquartered.
We tried to negotiate with BAM. Just as they threatened, they dragged everything out and refused to even offer a settlement.
They've tried arguments that are so contradictory, they make no sense when put together. They claim they own the store so they can take it, and also that they never own the store in between taking it from us and selling it to Brandon Best and Josh Johnson. It can't be both. They claim in their newest public statement that it's all our fault they took Brian Mansell's father's collection because they don't allow consignments. But they were always aware of the consignment. They promoted it when it was on the news and in the newspaper a year before they took our store. And
Who is they? Hold on. Is she talking about when they paid for the... Because it sounded like that was the thing that their business paid for, that was a corporate thing, or... Can we... Somebody find a spot on the video and go back and check that out.
They claim in their newest public statement that it's all our fault they took Brian Mansell's father's collection because they don't allow consignments. But they were always aware of the consignment. They promoted it when it was on the news and in the newspaper a year before they took our store. And the
That's also...
franchise agreement expressly allows consignment.
Oh, these guys are 100% fucked. First of all, saying, well, you knew about it is not a defense. Okay. Number one.
Promoted.
And number two, she's about to quote the same part that you guys all do in the introduction to the fucking contract.
When it was on the news and in the newspaper a year before they took our store. And the franchise agreement expressly allows consignment in contradiction of their newest statement.
And we've since learned they were saying all kinds of crazy things about Chris behind her back, both to customers and to employees, which are slanderous, to try to blame this on her. And once they even tried to say we never owned the store in the first place, which would mean all their claims that it's the previous owner's fault would be lies. And I guess that you were unpaid labor for 2 years?
So yes, we are suing them.
And yes, they are trying to make it so expensive, we'll have to give up.
If you fight this, then you're putting yourself into a whole lot of shit.
Have they filed a complaint yet? Is there one active anywhere?
I don't know. They got to GoFundMe.
We believe the best way to get Brian compensated is to win our lawsuit and include the full value of his collection in the damages so that he can then be compensated.
So if you want to help Brian get paid for his collection and help us...
and hold these horrible people accountable.
Wait, did Brian have a separate lawsuit too? Or a separate GoFundMe too?
Yes. There were 2 GoFundMe, Steven. There was one for like 500, 600K, and then there's this one for like almost 100K.
How many GoFundMes are there? What?
I'm about to put one up.
Please donate to our GoFundMe so that we can afford to fight them to the bitter end.
And if you can't afford to donate, we get that. Please share this so that more people see this.
We've learned they've done this to other franchise owners, and we want to hear from other people BAM has treated in the same way.
Please don't harass the employees at the various franchises. This is not their fault. However, I was required as a franchise owner to pay 6% of my sales in monthly royalty fees to corporate. So do with that information what you will. Please do whatever you can to encourage corporate to come to the table.
Wait, what did that have to do with anything?
I don't know what that has to do
with other franchise owners, and we want to hear from other people BAM has treated in the same way.
Please don't harass the employees at the various franchises. This is not their fault. However, I was required as a franchise owner to pay 6% of my sales in monthly royalty fees to corporate. So do with that information what you will. Please do whatever you can to encourage corporate.
What does that mean?
Come to the table, settle with us, and through us, Brian Mansell, so that they can try to make this right. If they settle...
fairly and completely.
And if we're allowed to tell you after that settlement is reached...
we will. So follow us wherever you're seeing this, and then go back to doing business with them once they've re-earned your trust.
Because Lego should be fun. And I want to personally thank all my former customers who've left comments of support for us and told me about their positive experiences during the time when we owned the store.
Oh, or just people to stop buying their shit, I guess.
That means the world to me, and I miss you all so much.
Oh, and the wildest thing is in the comments.
What? The craziest new development. This is going to be the ex-employee or whatever. Someone reached out and told us, and this is just an allegation we can't verify, that Josh Johnson, the other guy who bought the store after it was taken from us, has been going around telling people we were selling heroin. Oh.
Based.
This would fit a pattern when you watch Reckless Ben's video and see that he was also falsely accused of possessing heroin. Okay. So these guys raised... Do you think they keep upping the donation thing?
I think it automatically ups, man.
Oh, 45,000, 55,000, 65,000, 75,000, 95,000. You think that's automatic?
I don't know. I think so. It's just good business.
Why is it going up by different increments then?
Maybe there's like an algorithm behind to see like how slowly it's going up, and then it can like do pushes. I don't know.
Read the bottom line. If an organizer turns on automated goal setting, GoFundMe adjusts their goal automatically based on the fundraiser's characteristics and performance. Oh my God, you're right, Mooten.
I'm a genius.
Wait, and then where's the other GoFundMe?
It's down, I think. I think it got taken down.
Help! 1 year ago, Bricks and Minifix Kaiser, Oregon, stole our Lego collection.
I still haven't seen this 83-year-old man, by the way. In any
Yeah, wait, is he even real?
I don't know, man.
I'm at a loss and hoping the online Lego community. Also, wait, they said he'd collected this over 15 years. So that means that when he was 78 years old, he started, or I'm sorry, no, wait.
I think it was 20 years, but yeah.
Wait, what? No, he said 15 years he was collecting, right? So when he was 68 years old, the old guy started collecting Legos?
I guess.
They said it was some family thing?
A 68-year-old can't like Lego?
No, he can't. Arthritis.
Well, that's why they were all sealed up in box, idiot.
I'm at a loss and hoping the online Lego community maybe have some help. I was forced to write the following letter to Lego corporate.
Oh, it's back up. Let me look.
The large collection my 83-year-old father and I put together over 10 years or so to help pay for his grandkids' college. Wait, what the fuck is this? Hold on. His 73-year-old dad. He's like, Dad, we got to pay for the grandkids' college, so we need to start collecting Legos.
Oh. The Reckless Ben thing is back up. They've raised $475,000.
Jesus Christ.
Not as much as calling a kid the N-word, though.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, Bricks and Minifigs is taking all of that. That's for sure. Yeah, it's true. Big true.
No, they are selling the Legos to fund college. I don't think that's why they bought them in the first place. What? This is your go-to? This is the thing you would sell? What? Why? And they are, in fact, actively selling it in the store where it was stolen. We are in the middle of legal options. Why don't they have pictures of that? We're in the middle of legal options. The cops will not do a thing and say it is contractual, even though they are literally selling stolen goods at this point. And to put a cease and desist on the store until they can verify all inventory would cost over $60,000, not including other fees. So in essence, we could win the battle only to lose the war. Looking for social justice and other options available. How can Lego continue to support and do business with a company that could steal from an 83-year-old man and the collection he left behind for his grandchildren? That he's trying to sell? Isn't that kind of like... What? Okay, I don't know.
I thought they were selling it because the dad was in, like, health trouble. But I don't know. Everybody's lying, so it doesn't matter.
Why would you pay for health at 83? Maybe it's time to let go. Like it's time to let go of the Lego.
What the hell is wrong with you,
I'm
man?
just saying. Update 3 months ago. A famous YouTube personality is on the case. Pretty sure the sign was them. A documentary is coming soon. I believe they filed several small claims cases. We have also gotten the Kaiser police to reopen the case, and they are working with the DA's office to go after the owners. Bam is still trying to deny everything, even with mounds of evidence against them. Mounds? Does he mean mountains?
Mounds can work too.
Why would that's like?
It's not a bunch, it's a mound. You know.
Like if I was like, I have mountains of evidence, but you're like, I have hills of evidence against you. I have large hills. Why?
I've got a molehill.
Bam is still trying to deny everything, even with I believe the owner's franchise we originally signed the contract with are back in the U.S. and have hired an attorney to go after the corporation as well.
Oh, true. Sorry, I just saw this on your Reddit. We should ban AI from political ads.
True.
That's a new easy Democratic win I'm writing down. So brave, Moot. All right.
True. Fuck. Oh, deleted most of this paragraph. You claim to have an emotional attachment to the collection and that it was supposed to last generations. You mentioned childhood memories and grandchildren, and yet you entered a contract willingly to sell the entire thing within a year. I read back and I see now that it was to pay for your children's college education. I don't believe that. I don't believe any of this. I'm siding with the corpos on this one, guys. I am the corpo sellout. There we go. Also, did the other guy never mention the one other YouTuber guy, did he not mention buying any of this dude's Legos ever? Was he just quiet about that the whole time?
I know that he made a YouTube video, but I'm not sure. I didn't watch it, so. You can't use not increasing military spending as part of the budget for your childcare proposal. That's crazy accounting. Yes, you can. The Republicans are excited.
There you go.
They're all pumped to give $500 billion. Just say, all right, well, we're not going to do that. We'll use it on this.
What is this? Oh, damn. This guy he was posting everywhere. To r/Salem, r/Lego, r/Cool Collections, r/Legal Advice, r/Lego Market, Lego Star Wars, Lego.
You should have been posting to Wall Street Bets, figured out how to do some day trading.
Oh my god.
Wait, can I short bricks and minifigs right now? Hold on.
Not publicly traded. Nice try though.
Damn.